of thought.
Get ready. Peace, folks, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old TPOT YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why you are here. Tonight, got a good show for y'all tonight. I'm always saying that, right? Like each show ain't good. But before we get started, the first thing I want to say is thank you. Because last week, I got quite a few donations. People really looked out. But all of you who donated to me, y'all already know who y'all are. Because whenever you donate to me, whether it's 5 of you or 500 of you, I sit down and I write you a personal email and thanking you for your contribution. Because like I always say, you don't have to spend your hard-earned money here at TPOT, but you choose to do so. So it is greatly appreciated. And I am honored and humbled that you see fit to spend your money on this platform. And I thank you. All of you, you know who you are. But anyway, tonight, I decided to do something a little different tonight because, often here, myself included, so I'm going to put myself in there too. We often talk about a lot of the challenges and the problems that's going on within Black society. We do that a lot. And like I said, my ass do it too. We are often talking about the challenges of Black women, the challenges of Black men, the baby mamas with 12 kids. We talk about the baby daddies with 12 baby mamas. We talk about the crime. We talk about the killing. We talk about the ghettos, the hood, education, and all that kind of stuff. So I thought tonight on DXL that we would switch the narrative just a little and, maybe talk about some stuff that's actually good in the hood. What's good in Black society? As y'all can see, that is the title of tonight's broadcast. Now, I don't expect a lot of people to be watching tonight because people don't like to hear, the good stuff that's actually going on in our society. But tonight, that's what we're going to be talking about. I got my boy, Q Butter. Those of you who follow the Proper Thought series, you know that me and Q Butter are cool. We actually know each other outside of freaking YouTube. So I'm gonna have my man Q Butter on here Plus, I'm gonna have my man, Info Man up here, Jay Shine. Uh, I'm gonna try to get A and One up here. It's gonna be a whole cast of characters up here tonight, y'all. I mean, I think y'all are going to be quite surprised because you know how we do it here on the old DXL. So that's what's going on tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about what's good in Black society. So that's what we're going to be talking about while the brothers file in, because I have sent everybody the link, you know. So we're going to see what happens as the night progresses. You know, I'm running a little behind, y'all. Y'all know I be running behind like crazy, but I'm running a little behind. So I'm still kind of sending people the link like right now. So I wanted to lead off though with my man Q Butter. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and hit him up now. I did send him the link. I talked to him the other day. Because, you know, like I said, me and Q Butter, we know each other outside of YouTube. So let me hit him up. My damn phone dead. Plug this joint up. Put a few minutes of charge on it so we can make something happen up in here. Yeah, so I guess I go ahead and run my mouth until brothers start to file in. Now, like I was saying earlier, often we go on these airways, man, and you know, me too. You know, I'm not excluding myself from it. Often, man, we get on these airways, man, and you know, all we talk about is uh the problems with black women, the problems with black men. We talk about illegitimate kids. We talk about um, you know, the problems in the ghetto, the problems in the hood, the bad choices that men and women make. You know, we talk about the shootings and the crime and the robberies and drugs and drug selling and drug dealing and drug taking and all that kind of stuff. And I just felt like tonight that I wanted to kind of take a break from that. And hopefully, y'all want to take a break from some of that too. I mean, there's plenty of enough of that stuff going around, y'all. It's plenty of it going around. And I think every now and then we need to kind of back up and, you know, talk about some things that are actually good and positive going on in our society. You know, now I know these things sometimes are hard to find. I get it. Okay, I'm black too. All right, I'm a black person too. So I understand that sometimes these things are hard to find. But I'm gonna have a few brothers on here tonight that actually are doing things within black society, that are making a positive contribution to black society, that are doing things that are forward moving, progressive, and they are an asset to us as black folks. Okay, because we often are conversating about the things that are liabilities to black folks, no matter what side you are on it, whether you consider these things to be symptoms of the white power structure and white supremacy, or you just see these things as a detriment to black folks in a whole. No matter what side of that fence you fall on, this is what we often find ourselves talking about. We often find ourselves talking about why black men and black women can't get in relationships, why they can't maintain relationships, why they don't have families, and all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I just figured one night, okay, one night, I would just like to talk about some things that are going good in black society. Now, make no mistake, next week we probably get right on back to next week we'll probably get right on back to talking about a lot of the shit that we often talk about. But I wanted to back up this week and kind of, you know, talk about some good shit, put some brothers on display. Like I said, I wanted to lead off. I wanted to start off with my man Q Butter. Hopefully he ain't forgot. Like I said, I just talked to him the other day. So I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and hit him up on the phone. Everybody else I done sent the link to. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why they ain't came up in here yet. They might be like, you know what, X? I don't want to talk about good stuff. I want to talk about the bad shit. I don't want to talk about the I don't want to talk about what's good in Black society. I only want to talk about the bad shit. If that's the case, that'd be fine too, because me, I'll just go ahead and just run with the shit myself. Because y'all know me. I could get up here and run my damn mouth for 2-3 hours straight. No problem. No problem. So you know how it is. You know how it is. So, but I am gonna yeah, I gotta reach out to my boy, see what's going on with him. Maybe he might have freaking forgot. He might have forgot. I gotta check him. Well, actually, it's a couple people I gotta hit up, because I gotta hit my man Jay Shine up too. I will hit him up as well. You know, it's always good to know people you know outside of YouTube. Yeah, that's always a good thing. When you're just knowing people on YouTube, that's crazy. All right, let me go ahead and send it to him. That. Let me go ahead and get in contact with freaking. See what's going on with Q Butter. He might have forgot. He probably in a studio session or something, because that brother's massively busy. He's like one of the busiest brothers I know. Let me see. Let me hit him up right quick. He might have forgot. He might have forgot. But anyway, I hope y'all went out and voted, man. I do. I mean, and I don't even give a damn who you voted for. I hope you went out there and cast your vote. I know a lot of people tell us, oh, we shouldn't vote. We shouldn't waste our time, because it's not going to do anything for us, right? I know that's what people tell you. But if you think voting for you, if voting is not going to do anything, what do you think not voting is going to do? See, this is my problem with people who tell you not to vote. Now, I can understand you saying not to vote and say a now, not that I would do it because I vote, but I can understand you saying not to vote in a presidential election. I can say now, not that I would do it. I can understand you saying that. Peace. What's going on, brother Nagom? I can understand you saying that, because the president's policies, they don't really affect you all that much. But your local politics, okay, you need to be interested in those. Your governor, your mayor, your congressman, your town clerk, your sanitation commissioner, and it's not just that you're voting for policies per se all the time. I mean, politicians all the time. You're also voting for policies. I know when I went to vote the other day, I mean, there were only our senator was running, right? The senator for this state was running for Senate. A brother named Dan McCready was running. There were, I believe, 8 judges were running, and the rest were policies, amendments. The rest were just a bunch of amendments. Affordable housing, uh, whether or not judges should be elected or appointed, whether or not your damn drinking water should come from a certain place. So those little things like that, okay, matter. Yeah, they matter. All right. Because see, if you're the person who's responsible for picking up your garbage, say he starts to feel like, well, the part of town you in don't get their garbage delivered no more. That means you got to take your black ass to the dump, and that'll hurt your ass if you ain't got a car. So I mean that whole not voting thing. I mean, I can't really get with that, because see, I'm a person who feel like that's one time, okay, in this miserable damn country, in this miserable state, in this miserable county, in this miserable town, that I actually have a damn say, even if it's just a small say. And like I said, when it comes to local politics, it's not like the presidential race. See, in local politics, every damn vote counts. If one guy got a million and the other guy got a million 500, he wins. Okay, especially in this state. You know, I know in some states they have like a runoff if it's less than 1%, but every damn vote counts, man. You know, and like I said, you wanna know who your town clerk is. You want to know who the district attorney is. You want to know who your damn sanitation commissioner is. You want to know who them damn judges are. Trust me, man, that shit matters. It does. All right. And anybody that tells you that it doesn't, I mean, they're fooling you, man. They are fooling you. I would never let anybody convince me not to vote. Now, mind you, I have my doubts about voting too. All right. I have my doubts about voting and whether or not it'll count or not. But guess what? If it don't count, I'm not going to make it not count even more by not doing it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to do that. I mean, I press everybody I know about voting. You know, I don't even want to be, if my woman wasn't a person that voted, we wouldn't even be together. Yeah, we wouldn't be together. You know, now, mind you, her and I are different. Now, my wife, my wife is a Democrat. I'm not. I'm an independent. Okay. I don't vote a party. I vote policy. You understand? I vote policy. I've been an independent for a long time. My wife is an old left wing liberal. Yeah, she's a liberal. But me, I am not. All right. I am an independent. All right. Because, like I said, I vote policy. I vote my interests. I'm not going to vote for you because you're a Republican. I ain't going to vote for you because you're a Democrat. I'm going to vote for you if I think your message will affect me up or down. That's what matters to me. So I implore y'all again, man. I mean, don't throw your right, because believe it or not, voting isn't a privilege. It's a right. It's a right that you have. And as Black people, we need to be exercising every damn right we afforded. Trust me. You'll feel better, man. Even if the person you voted for loses. Because at least you tried to keep the other guy out. You understand? But anyway, brothers have started to file in. What's good? Brother Jay Shine. Brother Nicole, what's going on?
What's good?
What's up, brother? What's up? What's up, Nagon? What's up, X? What's up?
What's up? What's up, brother Shine? What's going on, baby?
Yeah, once again, it's on.
It's
Once again,
on.
it's on.
It's on.
Tonight, I was just telling the folks that, you know, often we get up here, you know, we talk about baby mamas and baby daddies and all this kind of stuff. So I thought I would turn the narrative on its head just for one night. You know, we would actually talk about things that are actually good in Black society. And believe it or not, there are some things that are actually good in Black society. I'm going to have a few brothers up here who are actually talking about the things they are doing within Black society. Brothers like Info Man and Q Butter of alike. Oh, my man AM1's in the house. What's good, brother AM1? I know myself, I'll speak for myself as far as the things that I see that are actually good in Black society. And I'm pretty sure you brothers will agree with me. I think it's good in Black society that men like the brothers here, okay, like the brothers right here, men have start to understand their worth. That's something that many Black men know in 2018. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing that Black men are starting to understand their worth inside Black society. Whether or not them understanding their self-worth is a asset to just them or an asset to Black society as a whole, I think that that's something that is good in Black society, that Black men now have a voice. Black men have an understanding of who they are within Black society. And I think, brothers, it's a good thing that brothers are starting to show not just solidarity with other like-minded brothers, but brothers are also showing that they can speak out, they can buck the system, if you will, and they also can be examples for other brothers. I think that that's something that is very good inside Black society. So if you brothers want to chime in with something that y'all think is good in Black society, pull the trigger.
I certainly will. I'll jump in on this real quick. You bring up some really good points there, Brother X, about Black men kind of actualizing, um, ourselves a little bit, seeing who we are, and really trying to reach out and expand on that. That's very important. Um, but there was some things that since I tutor kids and so forth in school, um, I was looking at some very interesting facts that said a growing share of blacks, okay, in our community as of 2016 through 2017 are completing high school and college. Like for the first time in U.S. history, over 90% of African Americans at the ages between 25 and older have either completed high school, okay, or are enrolled in or are going to some kind of secondary education, or getting involved in college. All right, this is also at the highest level that's been recorded in our history. And they said in 2017, 87% of blacks ages between 87 and older had a high school diploma or equivalent. Although high school completion rates for non-Hispanic whites, non-Hispanic whites are a little bit higher than blacks. The gap has really closed a great deal. We have literally out of black men going to college or going to jail, it's a as we said, it's a 4-to-1 ratio of black men going to going to college as opposed to going to prison. Prison rates are actually for black men are going down instead of increasing. So there's some very key things that are happening inside of our community that, especially for us, we're going to talk about black men here very quickly, that a lot of people don't know about. And I think it's very very important that we're talking about that. And why we're seeing that is because we're graduating out of high school at higher rates. More of us are going to college. So therefore, if you're doing more of that, your rates are going down in jail. So when a lot of people want to sit down and say you're a jailed guy and all this kind of crap and you're a criminal, the realities on that are really not that accurate. So it's showing that we are actually getting educated and moving more towards a middle class existence. Another thing too, if we want to talk about black immigrants who are actually coming into this country, who are coming a part of the black community, their population rates are increasing, have actually nearly doubled. Has increased fivefold since 1980, and some of them, Nigerians and so forth, are some of the most successful immigrants out of all, Asians and whites and Indians and so forth, are the most successful immigrants coming into this country as well. So, reaching very high levels of education. So I think when we start to look at blacks in the diaspora and blacks coming here into this country, with all the so-called, let's say, negatives that the media wants to apply to you, when we really start to break the numbers down and start to look at ourselves as a group, somewhat collectively, it's actually telling quite a different picture. So I think that's something positive that I just wanted to really talk about briefly, kind of bring that up, and kind of let black people kind of understand, as negative as there are those who want to try to make you look, the reality in many respects is a bit different, and I feel that's why this is a pretty important show, because we don't talk about some of these positive things. And Brother X is I think was pretty sharp and pretty on top of it to kind of want us to talk about this, because we have to talk about some of this stuff. Thanks.
Agreed. Just to piggyback on what Nagone said. Back in the '90s, man, we had a period of time where there were actually more young black men in jail than in college, and that's not the case anymore. There's more black men in college now than in jail. And even when we talk about the jail numbers, the brothers that are in jail, this is a bad fact, but it's this the silver lining I could find in it is, when we talk about the brothers that's in jail right now, there's more black men in jail than there are women in jail across the world. But that's because we're kind of targeted here in America. We do drugs at the same rate. We do lighter drugs than white folk, but we are 4 times more likely to be arrested for drugs. Case in point is Colorado. Colorado is supposed to be a place where you're not supposed to be getting arrested for drugs, for marijuana, but we're still getting arrested for marijuana. The good thing about the fact that we got less brothers in jail now than in more brothers in college than in jail, the brothers that are in jail, or most of them in there for nonviolent crime.
73%.
Exactly. Most of them in jail for nonviolent crime, which means we don't live in that crazy, wild, violent society that we used to have back in the crack 80s and the 90s with the gang wars and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of tapered down. Chicago's an outlier. We know that. But most everybody in black society is not in Chicago. Black people are all over the country. So that's why they only could point to Chicago. But crime in the black community is down. You know what I mean? Violent crime is down now. Brothers are still getting busted for marijuana and possession, or a lot of brothers in jail for child support. Sisters got to clean that up. You know what I mean? And but overall, crime is down with the brothers. Brothers are paying attention to what they need to do. A lot of programs that started in the late '90s and 2000s are bearing fruit. Even programs you don't even give credit to, like Snoop's program. Snoop had a football program. He got like 30-something kids that went to college from his program. I'm saying just by getting them off the streets and giving them something to do. Big Brother programs in DC. We got 3 brothers that we used to work with, are now in college and one about to go. So, there's positive things that's happening. Shout out to MC Light. MC Light has a scholarship program, and she saw the fact that there's no programs for black boys. Her last 2 years on BET, she gave her scholarship to 2 young brothers that earned it and deserved it. So, there's a lot of positive things we can point at in the black community. The only thing we need now is kind of figure out how we can start working with each other and get a certain level of code of conduct amongst each other, especially with the men. Start develop a code of conduct. And I think actually, even though all this stuff that goes YouTube goes awry, I think this is part of the process. You see what I'm saying? This is happening not just on YouTube. It's happening in cliques. It's happening on campuses. When I go to college campuses and stuff, I'm noticing the brothers having the same similar conversations that we're having on YouTube, having the same differences of opinion that we're having on YouTube. Some of them on some black conservative shit. Some of them on some simp shit. Some of them on some fuck a bitch shit. But they got different. But they're having the same conversations. And the good thing that's going to come out of it at some point is that we're going to start seeing eye to eye and leveling out and start moving together, I hope, as brothers.
I agree. Brother AM1.
Trying to get off my mute. Peace, brothers. Peace, X. And
what's going on, brother?
As well.
AM1, what's up, baby?
Hey, I'm good, man. Just chilling, working on some design work, and exactly that. That's something that I'm extremely, extremely pleased with about my people. I love our creativity, our soul, our spirit, the resilience. Like the list is just immense and vast. All of the things I love about my people. And double-edged sword, that's what also pisses me off about our people, the sense of complacency about a lot of things and just being real chill and just kind of accepting of certain defeats, as it could be stated. So it's like, for me, double-edged sword. Like I'm kind of a perfectionist. I'm an artist about everything I do. And with that art, with that creativity, with that culture, I'd love to see us owning and controlling it and commoditizing it more. That's why I'm big into the media, the culture stuff, lifelong hip hop dude. Here in the Bay Area, though, I am seeing a lot of advancements along the lines of more entrepreneurial spirit, more business mindedness as far as Black folks, for sure. If you guys know how it is in the Bay Area, everybody's on like a hustle mode. A lot of it is people trying to fake and front and profile and pose like they're about that life. But I would even still say that's better than just being, you know, on your couch or just super booed up and you just ain't about shit. That's a step away, at least from really being about it. And with that spirit, it just kind of garners more of that. People really trying to level up on that in that sense. But you know what it is here in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, San Francisco, Oakland, all of the tech stuff coming out of here. There's a lot more organizations leaning towards educating Black folks on coding, getting more into the tech type field stuff. I myself, multimedia design, you know, I rock that out for all day, every day. As another model right now, just came from checking out another shop space. Really just leveling up in some different ways on a business tip, trying to create more educational programs. A big deal, something that's going on out here is mental health, an organization I'm tapped into. Big issue for Black folks, mental health, looking at traumas, post-slavery, mental health that's organized and set up in a way where it's uniquely aimed towards the unique experience of Black folks, Black Americans, African Americans, descendants of slaves on that level, tying in with that, with the nonprofit Conscious Voices, shout out to them. Super dope in that sense. I really love this stuff. It gets me excited. There's potential for us to really move forward, for us to heal, for us to move into more prosperity, more in a unified sort of way. And again, this is why I go so hard about people focusing on the real things we need to build on and getting off the sidebar issue shit, because there's a lot of, as we know, detractors in here, Black YouTube, Negro naysayers just out in the real world, so to speak, that don't really want to level up. So of course they want to crab barrel and drag everybody else back down to their level of bullshit and laziness. Unacceptable. But for the most part, you know, I love my people. I go hard for my people. I've done some things to make my life better. I try to share that because we need it. You know what I mean? We need it for sure. And we need the resources. So if we can pull a strength in numbers move and try to level up the next brother or sister, you know what I mean? It's that true unity we need. That's that leadership where you're being your own leader, but we're also acting as mirrors and sounding boards for our own accountability and personal leadership. You know what I mean? I'll leave it at that, brothers.
Well, one thing I can say, and I'm just going to piggyback a little bit off of what Brother AM1 was talking about. I think that we've gotten to a time now where brothers are, well, Black people in general, I should say, are more entrepreneurial with how they thinking. Because I know I talk to brothers, I have a few brothers that work for me, and they talk about, starting their own business, doing their own thing. They talk about, having, a t-shirt company. They talk about, selling hats. I got one brother, he's into jewelry. He likes selling jewelry. He buys, he'll go and buy some cheap watches and polish them up, and sell them for like 3 times what they worth. I know one of the young brothers that work for me does that. And I look at this stuff and I'm like, wow, because when I was young like that, I wasn't even really thinking on that level, maybe because I was living a different life. But I mean, I see some of these brothers, because like I was saying earlier, we always talk about, the brothers in the hood and the ghettos and how they ain't shit and all that kind of stuff. But to see these brothers now, to see how they operate now, some of them, I mean, now don't get me wrong, we still got a lot of the bullshit, in the game. But there's some things in the game now that you wouldn't have seen 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and that goes both ways, for the good and the bad. But I've seen some things from young brothers, man, that shock me, things that you don't expect. And I think it's I think it's a good thing, man, that some of these brothers are really starting to, like I said earlier, see their own worth, have some degree of confidence in themselves and confidence in the ability, that they can actually make something out of what they doing, because that's kind of what we need coming into Black society anyway. We don't need more of the same. We don't need more of the bullshit we've had over the past 4-5 decades. We need some people coming up with a different mind state, with a different, outlook, people who have confidence in themselves that they can actually, start a business on their own, have confidence that they could have more, that they could do more. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that is what's good in Black society. The fact that we have people, in Black society now who, give me hope, give me hope for Black society because of the stuff that I see, coming from some of these young folks. We got a ways to go, but I've been impressed with some of the stuff that I've seen from some of these young folks, man. I really have been.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent out here. It's just about now getting organized, man, because our minds are everywhere. We always been an exceptional people, a special people. And what gives me hope, and I've said this many times on your program, we can always start something new. When I say the Black community is done, I mean, it's done. Like we can, but that means we can start something from scratch. You know what I'm saying? We can. That's the great thing of having nothing. You can start over. You don't have any debts. Let's just put the shit in the past. Let's move on. Let's move forward. Let's create something new. We are Black people. We always create shit. We always create new styles. We always create new cultures, new music. Let's just start over. Let's get something popping, man. And I'm looking at us right now, and I see an opportunity because I'm looking at the rest of the people in this country. I'm looking at the world. America's on decline. White people don't have much, man. I don't live in Black America. I live in a white suburb. You understand? I'm seeing them go through it. I'm one of the most wealthiest people on my block. Why I say that? Because first of all, there's only 2 Black families on this block. I'm one of them. And I'm single. I'm only one income in here. Everybody else on here has got multiple incomes carrying their homes. I'm talking about white folk. So I'm in a community with white folk with one income. Think about that. You see what I'm saying? So, and there's a lot of brothers like me out here getting it right now. Top of their game, best at what they do in the industry. Focusing on their craft, keeping themselves out of debt, not choosing to lay up with scallywags and heifers. You know what I mean? Not trying to get caught up in child support. We smartening up on a lot of levels, man, and doing what we got to do, to press forward. So I see all that as a positive. The question is, can we get on the same page so we can start doing business? You know what I'm saying? We got to start doing business. Black men got to start doing business with each other. Because sisters out here, there's some sisters I have met that have thrown me away. I'll give you an example. There's a sister named Nikhil Young Love. She's friends with me on Facebook. She has a product called Cold Black. She has more products for men. She only has really hair products for women, but she has like beard products, grooming products for men called Cold Black. And she's put all her eggs in one basket, and that's Black men. That's her base. So she caters to Black men. She promotes to Black men. And she advocates for our issues. She's also a conscious sister. So there's sisters out here who will get down with the program. They just need some leadership. And I'm really pushing for men to get it together because sisters have shown us, if anything, in the last few years, no matter how wayward they are, no matter how, misguided they are, they will get on code and do some shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll get on code and build a bunch of salons and have a bunch of fucking, what's that shit they have in Atlanta? A bunch of hair shows and they do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's business. Now it's for some bullshit, but it's business. So I can't knock the fact that, they are doing business and they are working together to a certain extent. So if we can just look at that and say, you know what? Why are we not like the sisters? Why are we not having conventions? Why are we not creating, our own little industries? We have all the talent. We have all the smarts. So now, as I said, it's about putting it together at this point, because when the Gone is saying it's actually true, our situation is we getting the pressure off us. That Justice Department, and Obama didn't do much for the Black community, but he did do that. His Justice Department took relief on us. We stopped getting locked up for bullshit. We stopped getting those crazy ass sentences. Now they're trying to bring that shit back, but he created relief. After the Clintons fucked this up, you know, Holder's Justice Department gave us some relief. So, you know, now we have, you know, a clear path to go out here and get some shit done. And I think, you know, we just need to employ each other, keep working with each other, staying positive, you know, start seeing young men, you know, you fucking up, but you trying, give them advice. You know, when the thing's a sure thing, invest in them, put your money behind them. I was just having this conversation last Friday with two brothers in the office, one in uniform, one a civilian. I work in DOD. So he's sitting in the office, and we're not even talking about work. We're talking about opening up an FLL. And I'm about to move overseas. And I'm like, yo, man, let me know what you're going to do. I got 10 G's ready for you. Let me know if you're serious, because we need that. We need an FLL. I'm tired of walking in white gun shops, looking at Confederate flags on the wall and shit, and the cats giving me funny looks. I'm tired of that shit. So we need, you know what I'm saying? So when we need stuff, we need to put our money into it. We need to support it. And if brothers can sit around and talk about things like that, and then know that there's another brother in the room saying, oh, I got your back, or I'll help you raise the money. That's the kind of shit we need to start doing. That's the next step.
I agree. Totally agree.
It's dropped a lot of gems right there, Jay Sean. Wow.
Yeah.
That's big. I'm big on that right there. Like you guys know, I'm kind of new into the Black YouTube Negro Manosphere sphere of things, and tapping in with O'Shea. I'm like, man, this is dope. Seeing what he was doing. I mean, I've been keeping O'Shea for a few years, but I noticed his content started leaning more on the level of less shit talking and just, you know, fucking around talking about chicks and whatnot, into really building with different brothers of different kind of like backgrounds and different business orientations and dealings. And I'm like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. Because me personally, I've started putting myself in a position within the last 5 years to where I pretty much surround myself with people that are about some type of business building element. And of course, it's made my circle of friends, quote unquote, very small, but my business associate game is leveled up big, and my life has been the better for it. And I'm definitely on the trajectory of making myself, and I talk about this in my videos on my channel, making myself a resource for myself and for my people. So it's this feedback loop sort of mentality towards like, hey, I know I have to have resources to sustain my life, and I know I'm trying to level up to where I have an abundance, a surplus of resources, so I can be impactful in a positive way to counter the centuries of fuckery that's been aimed at us. You know what I mean? Like, that's the man up shit we need, right? That's the real black male leadership that our people are saying we want, or women are saying we want, right? I'm single. I don't have any kids. Not getting all off into the, made up tradition, marriage, yada, yada, jumping through hoops to do all that first and foremost. I really believe in the idea of making yourself a resource, making your path and your purpose be more in position and dialed in before you even worry about that sort of thing. And here I am, 40, really understanding and really embodying these kind of principles. And sure as shit, it's making me a resource to where I'm really being able to have those kind of impacts. My only drawback personally is I'm like, damn, I wish I would have soaked up enough game and knew about this sooner so that I could have been rocking like this shit in my 20s and my 30s. I mean, my money game would be on a whole other level by now. The trajectory is there. But I say all that to say, I love where we're able to go with this. Networking heavy here in the Bay Area, networking even more heavy, or heavier as well, with brothers online, being able to sit with brothers that I've never met in person around the country, around the world. Like, that's big. I'm like, for somebody like myself, freelance graphic designer, left my last full-time day job 3.5 years ago, really gutting it out, grinding it out, seeing what it's really like. Not knowing if I got a paycheck coming every 2 weeks. That was the most of my life, knowing I got a paycheck coming every 2 weeks, versus grinding out and I'm turning in invoices. I gotta wait to get paid. You know what I mean? Like, really ramping that up and understanding that, coming to my own power versus the ease of which an employee or an employer can just pay you. It's a big deal, and I say that to illustrate how much more important it is to be on that network level. And younger brothers should definitely focus on that versus chasing chicks and pussy don't pay. I live by that unless you're a pimp, and that's a interesting game in and of itself, because maybe you're causing harm to your community. Like, we got to be able to move forward, link, grind out, hustle hard, without putting our people at risk or in jeopardy or causing harm to our own people. Like, I'm about that so heavy, and just coming from a place of abundance for myself. Like, I'm good. I'm always going to be good. I've learned so much, and I really want to impart that on my people. And we have an opportunity here, just like Jay Sean said, to really help level brothers up. And we can really be on that leadership level in the impacts and how we see, as far as these gender war type stuff, which I don't really believe is a bunch of bullshit. But we can shut all that down for all the women that's saying a lot of niggas ain't shit, which is true. We can shut a lot of that down too, because we can really start to build a code to where, the thuggery type stuff, the excuses for that, trying to rest on those kind of principles, so to speak, and try to make it okay, be apologetic for it, make excuses. We can really sidestep all that. When we start taking away all the excuses and really getting brothers on some get down or lay down and get down on some real righteous living and leveling up, getting some real money where you ain't even got to floss and stunt and do all this extra ass, hood rich type shit. We got to be on that level. I'm big on that. Sorry to be long winded, but no, it's just real dope. I love this kind of build. Where we're talking about progress, you know what I mean? This needs to be the standard for these kind of manosphere type discussions. And I think it's going to really put brothers on notice, and it's definitely going to put the ladies on notice to say, hey, these brothers are really building over here. We need to big them up. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard for them to tear us down and have back-to-back bashing videos when brothers are really on this type of note more consistently. Go ahead.
I think it's a hell of a point you bring up. It's interesting. I'm working with some brothers on a channel called the Black Brain Trust. A couple of us are women really talking and kind of dealing with each other and talking about business and really looking at and linking up in some businesses. And I think it's been quite interesting, making some of these connections here, YouTube. I actually think to a large extent the manosphere should operate a little bit like as I said, I've said this before, kind of like a LinkedIn. If you know LinkedIn, if you guys know that, yeah, certainly it should work somewhat that way, where you're making connections, where brothers are talking, you're chopping up game and everything else like that, which is very good. But in a lot of respects, with some, it's gonna lead to something. It could lead to you making business connections or educational connections, where to go to different schools or whatever. A lot of different resources a lot of brothers have. What I found here also is that there are a lot of very, very, very intelligent brothers, very intelligent for many different walks of life. So it's not like everyone has to have gone to school and gotten some PhD. Oh man, you have a lot of guys who are more blue collar, a lot of brothers who may be more white collar, but yet everyone is, pretty sharp. People have a lot of different experiences, a lot of stuff to offer. So, I found that to be very, very, very positive. I myself, I've been running my own business since 2005. Talking like AM1, billing out and, getting paid and all that kind of stuff. It's a grind I've been on, man, for a long while right now. And I've got 2 other people working with me currently, and, and just trying to keep, employees going and keep your situation going. It's, it's a large challenge. I don't know if it's for everyone. I think, it's for a lot, maybe not for everybody. But if it's not for everyone, then if you're building a decent company, you're building a good business, for those who may not before, they can be good workers for you as well. So we have to consistently reach out and try to build and work with ourselves. We have to understand winning. We have to understand working together, and that's a big part of it. And I see a lot of that. I see a lot of that coming about, and I do see, in a lot of places where brothers and some sisters, are kind of working it. They're working businesses, and a lot of different things are starting to happen. Are we where we actually want to be or should be in a community? No, but if we want to keep it on a positive note here, we're certainly moving towards that. And I've seen where here, literally, YouTube, where some of this is actually being facilitated. Like I said, with our group, the Black Brain Trust, they're brothers who are really sharp, putting a lot of good ideas together. We're looking at some very interesting things that we could do. And I'm all ears and open to any other brother who wants to work on some stuff that might make some sense for us. So keeping a positive attitude. We can talk about the relationship issues, which are challenging, which are daunting. I do believe, quite frankly, that black men, we should be working together, building our own media, building a lot of our own businesses to really take care of ourselves. And when you start to really get your game going right, kind of everything else in so many respects begins to fall into place as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's
and you know what, Nicole, you know what you just
Go
said.
ahead.
What you just said is very, very important. Like I don't want, I'm a war type thinker.
Mm-hmm.
Even when things are going well, I'm like Hans from Die Hard. Hit him again. No, let him go. No, hit him again. You understand? Make sure it's done. Because if you look back at the last 5 years of YouTube shit, it's actually already happened. If everybody right now, if Obsidian, everybody, X, you stop coming to YouTube, giving your commentary to go on, I stop coming around. Everybody who's out here on YouTube stop coming around. There's going to be people to replace us. Why? Because it's now here.
Yep.
You can't undo it. You can't undo what black people coming out here talking this shit. You can't do it. It's done. We didn't have black media doing it for us. So now we came out here and we did it ourselves. So Nala speaks and she disappeared. There'll be another Nala speaks. You understand? You can't undo Tariq Nasheed. You can't undo, Yvette Carnell. I got my differences with her, but I got to give her props. That American DOS is a dope ass. That's like some, whether you're a liberal black or conservative black, you can, latch on to that terminology. That terminology is cold. American DOS, because it makes us specific. It puts us in a class. It puts us in a box by ourselves, and it highlights our experience in this country. But my point is, you can't undo none of this shit that's been done. So black people come out to YouTube, and like for instance, Information Man is, how long Information Man been out here on YouTube?
I don't know.
Well, he's here.
You know what I'm saying?
What's good, brother Info Man?
Let me ask that man a question.
Doing?
What's up, Information Man? We can hear you,
What's
brother.
up, man? What's up, brother?
All right, brother. Basically, I've been on YouTube a long time as a observer. Mm-hmm. In terms of a content provider, I've been on YouTube maybe almost 2 years as a content provider. Exactly. But just being on YouTube in general, I have sat back over the years and I've observed and watched other people's content and enjoyed it. So
exactly.
But cracking it open myself about almost 2 years right now, brother.
Yeah, and he epitomizes exactly what I was just saying. I'm glad you popped in here on Information. I was just talking about brothers like you, because this shit that we started out here on Black YouTube, it ain't going nowhere. So that's a positive. We have now a movement of sorts. We created a corner of sorts where we can come out here and talk freely as black men, because God knows black men ain't got nowhere else to go. We got nowhere else to go. Talk how we want to talk. And say how we fucking feel and call a bitch. We got nowhere else to go to do that but here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So as black men specifically, we need this, but even black women, because black women get, what the heads of TV1 tell them they got to talk about, or the heads of BET tell them they got to talk about, or, what the blogs tell them they got to talk about, which is some cookie cutter, propaganda shit. You know what I'm saying? So, that's a huge thing that we can all pat ourselves in the back for, that we were participating in something that's not going nowhere. Even if we walk away from it, others will replace us because it's here.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. I mean, the genie is out of the bottle and it's not going back in. Yeah, it's not going back in. I know what's good far as media and YouTube goes for me. To touch on what Brother Nagone was saying, I mean, I never realized, because I just hadn't had experience with them. I didn't realize there was so many intelligent brothers out there in the world. When I met brothers like Brother Nagone, Brother Jay Shine, Brother Info Man, AM1, I mean, I didn't realize, there were so many, intelligent brothers, on YouTube. But as you start to expand your platform and reach out to other people and watch other people, you start to realize, like, damn, there's some really smart brothers out there on the airways. So my first instinct is try to, align with them, have them come on my channel, me go on their channel. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at, because I'll keep plugging at you till I get you on my shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially if you somebody who got some material that I think is sound and official. Because you know, you come up here, all you see is official dudes. You know, you don't see no clowns on the old TPOT YouTube page. You know, you see a bunch of official dudes, and it's good to know one thing that is good within Black society right now is that there's so many intelligent brothers out there, and not only are these brothers intelligent and insightful, they also have a voice. They speak out and they spread, you know, that intelligence. They spread that insight to other brothers, and I think that's all for the good. Brother Info Man, you just popping in, so we was talking about what was good, you know, what's good in Black society. So I know you got something to say about that.
Well, I want to touch on the fact that Black men are not what society paints us to be. I've had the beauty and the privilege and the experience, and Brother Nagon would know what I'm talking about, to be locked up in arms with thousands of brothers of various applications, jobs, success. I've had the privilege of, I ran into a brother who was a food scientist. A lot of us don't realize that there's a lot of foods that we're eating, snacks as it would be, that were created by Black men, or a Black man that was a food scientist. So I have had the privilege of locking arms with brothers that are educated, brothers that are educated in skilled trades, brothers that are very positive. And so when I look at the Black community and I look at Black men as it relates to the community, Black men are doing incredible things, but we just don't get the credit due us because of the fact that we don't control. And I think AM1 would recognize what I'm saying. We don't always control our own media outlets. We don't really control our sources. And we spend so much time relying on the TV ones, the BETs, and all that other disasters that don't really get our stories down packed. So I think that Black men are doing incredible things. I think that we need to continue to control our own narrative, because if our women won't assist in reinforcing our narratives, then who else will have to do it but ourselves? I think there's a lot more positive about Black men, Black people, than there is negative. I mean, for us to go through, 500 years of slavery, Jim Crow, go through riots in which Black men were lynched, all the things, all the adversities that we have had to go through that no one else has gone through like us, to be able to still stand here, to be able to have this conversation, to be able to still rise above, and with all the adversity about, through the drugs and all the various things that have been plotted against our community, we are still standing. I come from a Generation X where they said that if you were lucky to be 21 years old, that was an accomplishment. Okay, I stand at 48 years old, will be 49 years old next Tuesday. And when I look back at the years that have passed me and say, damn, I grew up in a generation where it was a norm to say that if a Black man made it to 18, 21 years old, that was an accomplishment. I've made it past that so far. I've beaten a lot of the odds, okay, that I'm supposed to be in jail. I'm supposed to be on drugs. I'm supposed to be a thug. I'm supposed to be a menace to society. And I don't fit that narrative, because all Black men are not the same. We're not all monolithic. We don't all think alike, and we don't all have the same backgrounds, but we're not all trash as media would portray us. So as Black men, we just need to maintain knowing our value, knowing our purpose, and rocking and moving forward into our future, which I believe is going to be great for those Black men that are on their square, as Brother AM1 talks about. If we just have to make sacrifices, that means that we don't have kids early on. That means that we just don't allow ourselves to get thrown off track by dealing with women who are not in our best interest. We need to control our narratives, control who we are. And I think more brothers on YouTube and off of YouTube who have something to offer, that are successful in their own right, need to come together collectively, network, And when I go to a lot of my fraternity conventions over the years, and Nagoon can attest to this, it's a great place for Black men to fellowship and to exchange greetings and exchange ideas as a think tank and to network with one another, to build business, to build infrastructure, to build an independent thinking, to build a brotherhood that lasts forever.
Yeah,
let me just say this and I'll be quiet. Remember, Nagoon, I am the master of my fate and I'm the captain of my soul.
Oh yes, man. Out of the night, that covers me. Anyway, yeah, you know what? I just got to piggyback on his point here just very quickly. We are members of the same fraternity, and I think people wanted to call it, Alpha Phi Alpha, the same old fraternity, the Boule, which a lot of people want to say. And I kind of don't really accept the whole Boule thing because it's not an elitist thing. It's something that we did in college. A lot of brothers who are very sharp, very intelligent, chose to take other paths and do other things instead of going to college and get involved in the fraternity. So that doesn't put any of us above anyone else. And I always like to make that very clear. What I think the fraternity view did is it kind of helped us kind of work together. You know, you kind of get an idea of kind of how to work well with people and kind of deal with people in a certain type of manner. Because I think brothers, if we're going to really work together, we have to learn how to. When I say get along, we have to get along and learn how to communicate with one another. And I think a lot of times that does get in the way. And I think the more brothers kind of learn how to get along and work with each other, the better things get. I even see it here on YouTube. I remember, brother Xavier, he was first. I think he and Obsidian and so forth. There might have been a little bit, there might have been some antagonism there, maybe with some other brothers too, but all of anything, any that past have gone. That's all gone. Brothers are sitting back, working, vibing together, talking, putting ideas together, and so forth. Whole different game. And I see it here, and that's something I learned certainly in school, and the fraternity I believe helped me out. But I see that going on kind of all around, and I think that's a net positive for us. That's one of the positive things that we're doing. And Brother Xavier came up with a wonderful subject today about talking about more, what's positive. And that level of communication, I believe that we're having, I think is a positive. It's leading somewhere. Our crime level's down. A lot of things are down. I think brothers have to learn how to, to communicate better. And I do see a great degree of that. I see that here, in these YouTube streets. It's okay for us to have heated debates. Brother Information Man, he's a brother who will hit the table. God damn it, and he'll start going off. But at the end of that debate, it's all good because it's okay to be passionate, but give across your ideas, but yet at the same time agree and still leave as civilized people. That's important. I see a lot of that going on. So I just wanted to kind of make mention of that. Certainly, Brother Information Man bringing that up, very key point. And I have to say, I appreciate that point. I think that's a excellent point that he brings up.
Yeah, well, let me just touch on something that both of you said. I have come to a point now, because I haven't been on YouTube that long either. I got on YouTube, I think, in 2015 when I first started. I got into YouTube while I was still doing radio because, I used to be a radio talk show host, and I got into it around that time. And, over the past, say, 3 years that I've been doing this, when I first started doing this, I always thought about doing stuff that I thought about. I mean, the stuff that I thought about, and it's kind of like that now too, a little bit. But I mostly did the stuff that I thought about, the shit that was on my mind. I never really considered, linking up with other brothers or things of that nature. And now, fast forward, 3 years later, I'm linking up with people now. I mean, I'm hooked up with people that I had animosity with, back in the day, because I feel like most of us, we have more in common than we have not in common. You know, when you think about it, I know we all got different ideologies and we come from different angles, and, you know, we see things different and we think about things different and we even cover topics different. But I think ultimately we have a little more in common than we really know. So that's why I have, but you know, my platform has changed so many damn times. I know my diehard supporters who have been with me since day one are like, damn, you know, where's he going with this shit next? You know, because it's changed so many times. And I don't mind it, because what else I think is good, what's good inside the black paradigm, if you will, is that I am inspired by other stuff that I see coming from other black people. You know, I mean, when I first started out, I wasn't that inspired. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't that inspired by the stuff that I see, but the stuff I see now actually inspires me. You know, it inspires me to do more, have more, do better, make different material. Live streaming is something new, because I didn't even used to live stream. You know, I hadn't live streamed in a long time, you know, so now I'm doing live streams every single week, something I wouldn't have done, say, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I wasn't trying to live stream or any of that. So I mean, the platform has grown, and a lot of that isn't just due to me, because a lot of the stuff that has made it grow has been because of the brothers I'm aligned with, the shows I go on, the people I have on the platform. I know all of that matters. It's all relative, because whenever I see change in my platform, whenever my platform changes, especially now over the past, I say, couple of months, I mean, it's grown tremendously. You know, and I know it's due to the brothers and the personalities and the stuff that I have on here. I know it's because of that. It's not just because of me, you know, because I've been here all along. So it's the way the platform has grown and the direction that the platform seems to go. And I think that is what has given it a positive touch. And I like to thank all the brothers that I'm aligned with, the brothers who show up here, you know, on Thursdays, and, you know, drop their nuggets on the folks. I'm appreciative for all of that, man. I'm appreciative for all the brothers who come through here, because many brothers come through here. You know, most of the brothers that's on here now, except for brother AM1, are the usual suspects. Y'all know there's a whole list of usual suspects that come down through here. And I think that is a good thing, that there are actually people out there. You know, if you are an up and coming YouTuber or just an up and coming person at large, you know, there's brothers out there who can actually inspire you. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to discourage you, there's actually brothers out there that you can look at and get inspired. You know, because I'll say again, there's a lot of intelligent brothers, articulate brothers, creative brothers, brothers who have a hellified message, brothers who dig down deep and dig in the trenches, brothers who talk to the shit that bothers you. I mean, brothers who talk to the shit that aches you, brothers who can answer a few questions that you have in your head. So you have a whole host of brothers in this sphere, man. That
damn, you bubble gump of brothers.
Yeah, you know, that you know what I'm saying, that you couldn't, you know, that you would have never imagined, you know, that you would have never imagined. They're here. And some of these brothers, like I said, man, are really, really bright. They really, really intelligent, and they know a lot. And I think that that's what's good on YouTube. That's what keeps me on YouTube, because at one point I was going to stop doing this shit, because I thought it was too much bullshit on here for me to continue to do it. But there's also too much good shit on here for me to stop, you know, and that's usually exhibited by the brothers that I follow and the brothers' platforms that I come on, and the brothers that I choose to listen to. So
awesome. That's awesome.
Brother Jay Shine.
Nah, I'm good, man. You know, speaking of what's going good in the hood, man, you know, I gotta get into the fuck shit. It's my nature. Another thing I think is good, man, is that how we giving these ratchets hell. It's been a good thing. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? We got them on the run. You know, That's why I don't understand why the some brothers lapping up over there and sitting at the feet of these ratchets. But hey, you know, it is what it is, man. I think us having platforms out here to talk about what's going on with black men and how they feel, and the fact that you can have so many black men from different walks of life, different life experiences, and different ages mad about the same thing, which is a very important thing. Mating. It's at the genesis of life. You know what I mean? We can't continue this race, or have futures without mating. You know what I mean? It's not a small thing. It's not frivolous. It's an important aspect of life. So to see that so many brothers are quote unquote MGTOW or red pill or Idmore or whatever you want to call them, man. Shit, I've been doing this since I was 13, so I don't know what to call myself. I've been red pill before there wasn't anything such thing as a red pill. But it's a good thing, man. It's a good thing to see brothers not succumbing to pressure of social norms and narratives that were drawn out for them. They can actually just, try to figure things out on their own. And even though we argue and we fuss, we are gravitating to the same place to listen to each other. You know what I mean? Or to listen to other black men, and a good thing. Or even just black people. There's some women on here I listen to as well, man. But we gravitate to it. And I can't talk about how much that's a positive thing. It's not just on YouTube. It's on Facebook. I see it. I just don't want to cheer because, like I said, I got a war mentality. Hit them again. I'm not happy until the fight is done. As a matter of fact, in the goal, I'm about to get on my Hotep shit. So Hotep, brother. Let's talk about the pyramids for a second. Let's talk about the pyramids for a second. I got a pyramid mentality, right? X. So an old man was a mason, and he started working on his pyramid. Took a long fucking time to build these pyramids. So what that means is a man in his 40s and 50s didn't get to see completion of that pyramid, but his sons did. You know what I'm saying? And that's the mentality we got to start having. We got to have pyramid building mentality. Everything is not for you to see. It's just for you to start, do your part, pass it on, let the other person complete it. And in this narcissistic age, man, that's something we're gonna have to start really fighting. I think that's the next wave, how we fight narcissism, so we can get black men to start being collective again, start working with each other again, getting on some type of code. Not saying you gotta have the same religion or you gotta have the same political ideology, but just be able to work with each other. All right. So what's that compound? Family, money, right? Let's start there. How do we feel about family and money? Can we all agree on that and back each other on that and create a new wave and a new ideology, built on that. So the young cats come behind us can make that shit submit. I mean, I'm talking about hardcore. What you say, bitch? Nuh-uh. No. Nope. 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 Get the fuck out of here. And then she try to run across the street, catch simp. Nope. 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 Can't come over here neither. Try to go on the block, catch another simp. Nope. 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 We gotta lock it down. Give them nowhere to go. So they can't destroy the goddamn community again. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, you're talking about a fairly decent common interest piece here. We all have the same interests, and let's see to that we stick to it and stay away from things that we know are universally going to be damaging all the way around. And I agree with that. And a lot of that also was us being on top of our game as well. I mean, yes, we are hard on some of these ladies that are out here, and I use the term ladies loosely for some of them. Yeah, we can be tough on some of them, but at the same time, we still got to be kind of tough on ourselves as well. We have to consistently be on top of our game. Consistently be disciplined in our thinking and how we go about doing things, which is not always easy. So we have to be in that. We have to work with, I think, brothers very much of like mind as well. That's something I think AM1 and I think we would kind of vibe it on that a little bit. AM1 was talking about groups and working with groups that you can really work with and make that a little easier to kind of make things happen. But we all have to kind of group up in some way to all get on to get on somewhat of the same page. Very important that that we do that. So we have to check ourselves as well. We have to check others, but be a self check, and then have others check us too, and not have a big issue with that when we're not on top of our P's and Q's either.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's it right there. Just really creating that code that starts with the individual first. That mirrors in the face principle, where you look at yourself and say, "Hey, where am I at in life? Where should I be? Where could I be? What barriers are there that are obstructing that? What barriers am I myself putting in the way?" And then it boils down to sacrifice and discipline. Like once you really can look at yourself and say, "Hey, I was fucking up right here. I got to stop doing this." And I mean, nobody's perfect, but the idea is, isn't that what this is? If this is spiritual beings having a human experience, we're supposed to be trying to master ourselves as beings in these animal body meat suit things. You know what I mean? And take it on a deeper level, but it's not really deep. I mean, those are just fundamental principles. If you want to, entertain such a thought, I think it goes without saying, we're definitely more than just these bodies, but to even take it on that level, self-mastery, you know what I'm saying? Imagine if the wave was young brothers like in their 20s or even in their teens. If we were grooming young men up on this level, man, a lot of this stuff we're seeing, racism, the resource supremacy system, a lot of this stuff wouldn't even matter. And I would go as far as to say humans in general, especially the black man, black woman, you know what I mean? The melanated body type, it goes beyond just the pigmentation, you know what I mean? The chemical makeup dispersal throughout the body, just the genetic lineage. I mean, it goes without saying. So it's really a thing of identifying all that's been done to hold us down. Like you understand, like whole think tanks, billions, if not trillions of dollars have gone into holding us down so that we could be turned into a resource for other people to win off of. Like when you really start to unpack those sort of things and really look at what's been done, and then look at how they've really backed up off a lot of what they've done. And it's kind of on autopilot now. It's where a lot of us brothers are perpetuating the same things. A lot of women, because I mean, not to make it a woman bashing thing, but I think we can all agree, and most women, Ruby is in the chat, she can probably agree for the most part. It's understood women are typically more right brain, emotional. So that means that for the psychopaths on top that have all these resources, if they're trying to weaponize everything against us, it makes perfect sense that they would use our women against us. Somebody brought that up in a stream just the other day. Our women are definitely being weaponized against us, or better stated, women's own emotional and nurturing, like biological, just the systems, period. You know what I mean? Just as the beingness of the female energy is being weaponized against them, because we're not in a situation where we're out in some kind of wilderness for the most part. So we don't have to really rely on some of these other, natural sort of traits. We're living in an natural environment. We're talking on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Computers, none of this is nature. So we got to really think through all of these things in the exact situation, or you could even say predicament that we're in. But like I said before, a lot of this stuff is on autopilot in a way where if we really shape up right now, there's a major opportunity for intelligent brothers to get it in and really make some real impacts. And a lot of that is going to take discipline, being really strategic about the women you interact with, the other brothers you surround yourself with, what you consider to be fun. For me, I've changed my own mind just on that, self-mastery. I find it extremely fun and gratifying to be a resource for my people, to be creative. Maybe I have an unfair advantage because I've always been a creative dude, but I think everybody has that creativity. And I would say black folks, I believe, just automatically just sort of drip that type of creativity, whether it be in music, art, any other kind of expressive form, dance, all that.
That's why we catch up so quick.
Yeah, we run
that.
that.
A little breathing room. We go right from the hood to the suburbs, real fast.
Exactly, like the whole picture you painted, single, and you in a neighborhood mostly white folks. So it shows you sort of the differentiation between your position, and that's why myself, I try to tell brothers like, look, people say to me, well, you're 40, you're single, you don't have any kids. Who are you to talk about family life shit? And I'm like, well, I'm the perfect person to the degree that I can see the drawbacks of following that traditional route. And I see what is needed is people with more bandwidth to educate themselves and to be a resource for more people. Sure, I could have 3 kids and a wife, and we got a house with 5 people in it. But if we're not owning and controlling our own wealth and some legacy shit, then we're trying to make it happen, work for some corporation. We might sustain ourselves, cool. but I can have impact for 50 to 100, 500 people as a single Black man right here in the Bay Area. I think that's that leadership level we really, really need. And again, my gratification comes in that, like, man, I'm able to impact a lot of lives and I'm just getting started. I'm like, man, I really want to do more. And again, this YouTube, this technology, you know, I'm a big media dude. I literally was just editing a video, just emailed some stuff over to one of my clients, working from home, make my own schedule, work on it whenever I want. I want to help brothers level up on that level of freedom, because then again, you have more bandwidth to be able to say, hey, wait a minute, look at our predicament, look at our condition, our state, unplugging from their mainstream media, looking into what our brothers building. I'm building a whole media platform. I myself, I'm a videographer, graphic designer. Look at All Street Looks like it's legitimately wholly owned and controlled Black content. And it's just a fraction of the output of what I'd like to be doing. It just takes a lot of time to do it. I'm trying to subsidize it with the clothing. If you go to my website, buy some gear, support that. Everybody in the chat right now, if you have your card set up through your Google, go drop $1 on this right now. And I'm not saying, obviously, it's going to Brother X's chat, so it's going to his pocket. I'm just saying, peeling off $1, $5, it ain't nothing. People be spending that on a bag of weed, like way more than that, or some coffee or something. But if you do it, you'll start to really see that, wow, it's easy for me to have these small wins, these small impacts. And you'll start to realize it's not putting a dent in my pocket. It's not that serious. You won't even miss it once you really understand that. And it'll put you in that mind state to understand, hey, this is real power. Supporting Black media, supporting brothers building like this. This is we all we got. Save yourself, Black man. Like, if that's the case, we gotta be supporting each other and not just a like a like here, share. That's cool, but really look at peeling off some of that money. Now, if you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Don't do it. But if you can spare it, $1, come on. It's a big deal. It's a small thing, but it's a really big deal.
They got it.
Yeah, what he said.
They got
what
it.
he said.
Ain't no such thing as if they don't got it. They got it.
Speaking of which,
shit, you put pussy on deck, they'll find $1.
Guilt trip nobody or nothing, but
all right. Yeah, no, ain't no guilt trip.
If you
put some pussy on deck, they'll find it.
The hell out of them.
Yeah.
I will guilt trip the hell out of them.
Put some punani on deck, they'll find the money.
If you're feeling generous.
Punani on deck?
Punani on deck, they'll find the money. Punani, they'll find the money.
You can look right here to my left here. And you see right there where it says the Prophet of Thought series look like it's been swiped with a highlighter. Just hit that there link, and that'll take you right there to that old Streamlabs link where you can donate a generous contribution. Or you could look down in that corner there and you see that old super chat button. Yeah, I got that enabled tonight, just like last week. Feel free, drop an old super chat in there. It is greatly appreciated. Promise. I wanna say this before we get to the next round. There are so many people, right, that we know of in Black society. Some of us that are on YouTube and people that we know in our everyday lives, because life is bigger than this damn gadget here. And there are people in our lives who they often dissuade people who are doing good. They'll put a label on you because you're doing good for yourself. You're doing the right thing. You have your own crib. You have your own car. You have a few bucks in the bank. You don't got 5 baby mamas. You're doing all right in your life. And you will have people who will say that because you live like that, that you are somehow some slave to some system. I don't believe that, of course. Now, these same people will turn around and say these brothers who have 5 and 10 baby mamas, they still live in grandma's attic. They have no money. They have no house. They have no money in the bank. They living from pillow to post. Somehow these people are free. To me, that makes no sense. But I want to say this to brothers who are actually doing the right thing, who you ain't sticking your penis and dropping babies in every damn woman that you come in contact with. You about your business. You got your money right. You got your mind right, like Brother Nagone says. I mean, you should be big upped. You shouldn't be told that you're somehow this slave because you decided not to have 5 baby mamas, because you decided not to make decisions in your life that would be detrimental to your future. You shouldn't be dissuaded. And I don't want you brothers to feel bad. People may call you many different things. I don't know what people have called you because of how you live your life. And I probably was one in the past who would have said something about you too. But upon further review, I realized that these are the type of things we have to stop doing. When we have brothers amongst us, brothers within Black society who are actually doing good for themselves, I think we should be telling those brothers, hey, man, that's good that you're doing that, as opposed to trying to make them feel bad because they've never been to jail, trying to make them feel bad because they haven't gotten 10 women pregnant, trying to make them feel bad because they don't live in the projects no more. And I mean, we have to stop doing that shit, man. That stuff we have to stop. And that's what I think is good. I think that's what's good in Black society. Brothers have started to pop out of that. Brothers have started to stop feeling ashamed because they have actually made something out of themselves. Because y'all know, inside Black society, often you get shamed because you've made something out of yourself. You've done shit with your life.
A lot of it be hypocrisy too.
Yeah, man.
He's got no problem coming on YouTube, bragging about what they know, what they read, and what they lived and all that. But as soon as you say something about what you do, then you bragging or you trying to act like you know what I'm saying? Fuck all that, man. If you lived it, talk about that shit.
Yeah, you a slave to white folks, you know, because you have a good job.
Say that shit in my face.
Because you make good money.
Say that shit in my face.
You own your house. You have a nice car. I mean, you're a slave. You're a slave to white folks because
as
you do
opposed
that.
to not being a master of your own destiny.
Or this one, the white man is dominating you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hear that too, and you know, because me myself, I'm a self-made man. Okay, I tell people this all the time, man. I built my business from nothing. Okay, I built it from absolutely nothing. I didn't get no white man bank loan. I didn't get none of that shit. The only person who was loaning me money to help my business was my wife that I've been married to for 17 years. That's the only person. That's the only person. That's the only person who ever loaned me shit. Okay, as far as my business go. So when I hear people talk that you a slave to the white man shit, that's bullshit. Ain't no white man help me build shit. Okay? No white man ain't helped me build nothing. And none of you black assholes ain't helped me build nothing either. None of you. So don't be sitting around here telling me how I'm a slave to nobody. Because let me tell you something, don't no white folks control me. Because I don't work for white folks. All right. I work for my goddamn self. White people don't tell me anything. They ask. They ask. Me. They don't tell me anything. They ask me. And I think that more black men having that entrepreneurial thing, that's part. And I'll say this again, that's part of fighting the white supremacy boogeyman that we hear about all the goddamn time. Okay, because when you have your own business and you master your own destiny, you don't answer to no white folks. Okay, that is what's good in Black society. And what's good in Black society, what's good in Black society is that more and more black men are taking their destiny in their own hands and they ain't relying on white folks. Okay, they ain't relying on white folks to give them nothing. I think more and more brothers doing that is what's good. And that's how we fight white supremacy, by not just excelling in our lives, but being able to excel and leave something to our children. And I don't mean just a they gotta freaking go open a GoFundMe to put your ass in the ground. I'm talking about leaving your kids more than money, but a legacy, something to live up to, something to look up to. I think more and more brothers are doing that, and I don't give a damn what nobody say. That is what's good.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead.
I was gonna say real quick before, cause I know Information Man about to go ham. I could feel him from over here.
Aha, me too.
I can feel him. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to point something out real quick, man. You know, Dr. Stone, he's one of the leading thought people at the War College right now. He's training generals. General Alford, brother, he runs the CLG-6 for the Army. He's the top IT person in the entire Army. General, black man. There are brothers out here who are doing things. All right, Mr. Adams, over there at the nuclear, doing stuff in nuclear physics. He's a nuclear physicist, and he's one of the top of what he does. GS-15 non-supervisory. You never hear that shit. That's how much they wanted him over there. I mean, look, man, there are brothers out here who are doing their thing. And here's the thing. People like Mr. Adams and Dave Stone, Dr. Stone, listen to YouTube. They listen to Black YouTube. There are brothers out there listening to us. I think the next kick and the next wave is we're going to start crushing this. If you talk like me, if you don't talk like me, then I can't rock with you shit. We got to get that out of here. There are brothers out here with different walks of life, and we're going to have to start learning how to connect with each other. Because if a street brother like me can meet those three men and have relationships with those three men, those three black men, then other black brothers out here can start working with each other too.
Man, that is one hell of a point he just made. Brother Shine, that's right. That's ridiculously, stupidly on the money. See, a lot of brothers here, they don't see, the fact that, number one, when you're in this Black YouTube space and you're having various types of conversations, you have no idea who's listening to you. None.
It's true.
You'd be shocked. I keep saying that. I've said it many times, and I'll say it one more again. You'd be shocked. Who's listening to you? Shocked. And
I'm gonna speak on this Black YouTube stuff after, because I know Brother Info Man. I know he chomping at the bit over there.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna speak on it after Brother Info Man. Go ahead, Brother Info Man.
Thank you. You talked about a topic. You brought up a topic that is very passionate to me, and this mentality that we have had over the years in our communities, where if you talk a certain way as a black man, if you want to elevate yourself academically, what have you, there is some sort of price that you pay within our community. You get ostracized. I never could understand why we would celebrate someone who comes home from jail. All right, and I know that brothers have been incarcerated, a lot of times illegally, unrighteously. But what I'm saying is that we have people that come out of prison, go to prison, they get parties thrown for them. I've seen this. We have people that are celebrated because they can play sports. We're celebrating our kids because they can dance, shake their booties, jump around the stage, the stereotypical type stuff. But yet we got young, brilliant young people. I know, Magoon, I can tell you this, brother. We have the scholarship program. Do you know, brother? We have
absolutely.
Where I'm at and other places that I've been, brother. We have advertised these scholarship programs where we've tried to bring the public in to give these young people recognition, along with their family members, of course. Do you know, when you try to market this to the outer community, how many people you think would come through the door?
Well, it's kind of interesting because, I would say maybe small, but up in Syracuse with our chapter, my whole chapter DZ and what we're doing up there, it is we have a lot of people in the community responding to what we're doing. But anyway, I'd be interested to hear what your feedback is.
What I'm saying to you, if we were throwing a party, shake booty, get down.
Yeah, I got yeah.
Everybody be in the door. If Lil Wayne or one of these rappers performing, everybody be in the door. But for some reason, we don't praise the academic or the mental achievements of our young people.
Not at the level that we should. You are
And at
so
the level
right
that
about
we
that.
should. And that's the damn shame of the matter. Now, I heard Brother X say that he don't rely on white folks. He got his own business. But see, that's the type of black man and black men like him who need to be in the faces of our young people, talking to them. Because the only way you're going to respect a black man is you got to have a living example who not only talks about it, but lives it through his action. And if we have more brothers like this, engaging with the young minds, particularly of our black males, we can create a new type of culture in which black males grow up and respect each other and will adhere to the authority of other black men. Why? Not because you see yourself beneath them, because you respect them through their actions, words, and behavior.
Right.
And
Sure,
so
right.
one of the problems that I've noticed over the years, black men in general, we do have a sort of a problem in adhering to the authority of other black men. And maybe that comes out of the fact that we either never had it around us. Maybe our mamas told us that our fathers wasn't shit, our uncles wasn't shit, so we had a lack of respect for men and authority. I don't know what it is, but we
I
got
tell you what it is. It's
that.
diva. It's diva mentality.
Yeah, diva mentality. And our young black males that are raised by mainly women
Raised by
without
fake
the
people,
male
yeah.
structure in the household, they learn to adhere to the authority of women, which is why you see men simping and baitering themselves to the authority and capitulating themselves to women if that was all they had as a source of power in the household, which is why I don't like when you hear women, particularly black women, say, I'm a single mother, as if the child just got there by itself. And when they say that I can be both a father and a mother, hell no, no, you can't.
They're being raised to adhere to the authority of women who have authority.
And so if you are, and I'm agreeing with you, if you are being raised to the authority of women
who have no authority,
life,
you bitches ain't got no authority.
Then when you have a black male of authority who's trying to teach you something, you're not going to respect his authority or want to listen to him because the only authority that you've been shaped and imprinted upon is the authority of your mother, who has been everything for you all your life. She's been your father, your uncle, whatever, all wrapped up into one that's been told to you growing up. And I've seen that happen to people. And so that is one of our that is where we need to be really centering ourselves towards the black males respecting the authority of other black males who have their shit together. What we got today is our young black males adhering to the authority of these rappers who give off false masculinity through their music, their clothing, their actions, and then we internalize that as black culture, when in fact that is not black culture. I don't even know if we know what the hell our culture is anymore because we're so popped out, we're so mainstreamed out. What do you?
But it certainly isn't that. I tell you that it certainly.
But you can debate on these airways about that, and they'll debate you and say, "Oh no, it is." And I'm sorry, that type of shit ain't my culture. So this is the thing: black men on YouTube, we are trailblazing. Everyone is trailblazing because a new narrative is being put out there, and you're absolutely right. You never know who's watching you because I've had people send me messages that I didn't know was watching me. So if you never know who's watching you, guess what? That means that some young people, black people, could be watching you. And the things that we say could be shaping the minds of young black males for the positive, or we have the power to shape them for the wrong, for the damage. So which one do we want to be, black men? Since there's so much, there is positive about us. Do we want to be the brothers who shape the minds of our generations through our words and action? Or do we want to get on YouTube and get ourselves involved in nonsense, not realizing that we're shaping the minds of our young people through nonsense because they're going to look up to what we're saying, just as they would look up to some of this ratchetness that you have in our music and all this sub pop culture. What are your thoughts?
Right on the money. The
I
money
agree.
right there.
I agree.
Dead
That
on the
media
money.
influence. That media influence is a big, big deal.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Talk to people about that mind control, like legitimately. And I say that because that's what I do as a profession. My job is to paint a picture for you, tap into your emotions, tap into uh, nostalgic feelings, things from the past, all that. Whatever I can do to trigger you to uh, act on something, typically sell something or engage with something. That's what it's about. So ultimately, what they're trying to do is weaponize our lowest frequency folks, the generational poverty folks who have made it part of their culture to embody exactly what the oppressor, if you want to use a phrase like that, designed them to do. So when you get a brother that's saying, I'm a thug and I'm proud of that, it's like, wow, you waving a white flag, bro. That's exactly what they wanted you to say.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Exactly. But what I want to say about, because I'm about to jump on YouTube's ass right now. Um, you know, a lot of us, I know me, I monetize a lot of my videos. Um, you look sometimes when you put up there and you get this, you know, you get that symbol where it says, oh, your content isn't suitable for monetization, not suitable for all advertisers. But this is the trick though. Not suitable for what advertisers? Now, how come on Black YouTube? Then this is very important, and I know this video might even get flagged because I'm calling YouTube on the carpet right now, but I don't care. How come Black YouTube media is unsuitable for most advertisers? Why? Because most advertisers are not us. Most advertisers aren't necessarily focusing or directing their media towards us. When they say that your material is not suitable for advertisers, what they mean is not suitable for the white advertisers. So it speaks to the discrimination of YouTube. And I hope you're listening, YouTube, because see, if you had more Black ads in your rotation, maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't have to be putting that little gold $ on our damn videos when we try to monetize them, because you could just run some Black material. You could run some Black ads on those videos as opposed to jamming up every damn video that a brother put out because of certain words in there, certain visions in there, certain music in there. That only matters. Why? Because the videos that you have, your advertisers are all white folks. That's why it's not suitable for advertisers, because all your advertisers are white folks. This is my call to you, YouTube. You need to get some more Black advertising, and some advertising that's more slanted towards Black folks, and then maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't have this damn problem.
Brother X, can I say something real quick to what you're saying?
Go ahead,
This
brother.
is another thing that I've been studying in YouTube for a little bit here. There's a science to it. This is another game that they run. And I've heard Brother Kevin Samuels talk about this on his program. If I use a title like I did a video where I said, this is a damn shame. This speaks to another problem we have. I did a video that was related to Black Father's Day. And it was titled, you know, Black Fathers and what have you. And anytime I title something that has the word Black in it, Black people, Black, you know, issues, anything related to us, that's automatically going to be a red flag in their system. Anytime you start titling things that specifically speaks to our people, you've already made yourself sort of a red flag to YouTube as it relates to you, to the advertisers. And then they would make you think that the advertisers will not promote any ratchet stuff. Oh, here, contrary, there's a lot of people doing ratchet stuff on YouTube, ratchet material, and they're getting the advertisement because that's what they want us to do, get into non-constructive, ratchet conversation. And then the minute we want to have constructive conversation specific about Black people, Now you're telling me we can't monitorize that. That's unsuitable. I've had a couple of videos that I knew were suitable, and they say not suitable. And I'm saying to myself, I did a one about black men's health. Do you know I can't get that damn video monitorized? And there was nothing negative about it. Simply me educating brothers about different foods and vegetables, exercise, and various vitamins and things that you can use. I had even brother George Makem come on and drop me some dimes on that video. And damn it, I can't get that video monitorized, but yet I could get the video monitorized that I did one night. I had Nagoon and Sister Brenda and a bunch of people on, and of course on that stream we got a little loud and cussed a little bit and did everything. Guess what? Those kind of videos I've gotten them monitorized, but the video on black man's health and testosterone, what is negative about that? Can't get it monitorized. Keep trying to get it monitorized. It tells me that it's pure bullshit. And and you said the rest, brother X. I'll be quiet.
So I wanted to ask you a key question here. Did the word testosterone show up in the title of that video at all?
Maybe that's it. Let me say this. Yes, okay. I did in my my thumbnail or in the title. I said black men's health, boosting testosterone. Now check this out. There were other videos. When I ranked my video, there are other videos in YouTube that are ranked that use the same similar title. And I know that they're getting monitorized. It's just the fact that I'm putting black people up front. And when you do that.
I wanted to say this, because I'm big in the fitness community, big with weightlifting and all that.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact in the fitness community, with respect to YouTube, since the word testosterone that comes up, leads towards what they figure steroids.
Oh, no, there's nothing about it.
So testosterone, steroids, test boost, all that different stuff that comes up from the fitness industry.
Okay.
Anything that has the word testosterone in it.
So estrogen doesn't lead to the word bitch.
Well, estrogen is different.
Crazy, man.
Estrogen is different, but
they don't lead to dirty whore.
But as far as,
this is a very important question, though, brother.
But as far as male hormones are concerned, and the whole testosterone piece and illegal, use of drugs and all that kind of stuff of performance enhancing drugs. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for when you have a word that comes up and it automatically flags it? The
algorithm?
The algorithm. Yes. The algorithm. As soon as it sees or senses that word, it immediately just goes to that immediately.
Okay.
So, and that's out of the fitness industry. The drug testosterone use and some of the deaths that have happened from testosterone and all that. So that's I just want you to let you know, not to say that anything else you're saying as far as them flagging videos, because let me just say this: Black YouTube, and especially the manosphere and so forth, it's a bit of a thorn in the side of the YouTube community on the whole. They don't like us, but
very true.
In the fitness industry, testosterone, that's a trigger word.
So, do you think would your advice be to me to maybe I should change the title a little bit on that video and maybe remove the testosterone, and maybe they'll
remove it altogether.
Okay.
Anything that says testosterone, okay, or or the word or the the 5-letter word or whatever, steroid and so forth.
Okay.
Anything like that, you can
so
forget about it.
It doesn't even matter if you're just talking about natural foods.
Natural foods. It means it's unnatural to YouTube if that word.
Great advice, brother.
Steroids in there. So never have that in the title. Never have it.
But keep this in mind. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep this in mind, though, brother. Kevin Samuels was talking about this. There's something when you use word black as it relates to black people that it does.
Yeah. That's an
algorithms do not like that.
Yep.
Yeah, information you gotta know.
There is
You cannot say the
right.
word black.
YouTube. I really do believe that. I think there is something to that.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say black.
But listen, black and testosterone, you're finished. All right, those two words in there, you're done. They ain't monetizing jack on that.
You're right.
In fact, they may look to take the video down.
Anyway. We've been joined by another guest, one of my favorites. What's good? Let me ask you. Do you believe that there is good in Black society? And if you do, what is it? What do you see that's good in Black society, Lady Ruby?
Well, actually, I think there's a lot of good in Black society. I mean, I think we spend a lot of time focusing on the negative because, the younger generations are kind of really picking up on the negatives and running with them as though that's all that there is to, Black society and the Black community. But we do have a lot of good. So, and I mean, it's a little thing that I mention all the time. But for example, that anywhere in the world that Black men go, when one Black man passes another Black man in the streets, he nods at him. It's just a thing. It's a sign of respect. What I've noticed is that other cultures don't do that. They pass each other in the streets and just kind of walk past each other maybe or whatever. But, it's something that our men do. Whether they're lost or not. It's just something that you do as a grown man. You pass another Black man in the streets, you give him a nod. It's a sign of acknowledgement and respect, so kind of shows me that despite all of the broken bonds that we have, there's still something that's deep down inside of us, like it's bred into us that, we still want to be bonded. We still want to have that respect. Another thing, I mean, this is going to sound really ridiculous to so many people, but another thing that I think is amazing about Black community are our barbershops and beauty salons. And I mean, it's something that, for as long as I can remember, getting perm in my hair at 3, 4 years old. I know it's terrible. My mom took it out by the time I was 7, but still, getting up and going to the beauty salon and having this ritual of self-care, that you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to look good. That's something, at least for me, when I was younger, you got to do that to look good for your husband, look good for your man, look good when you walk out on the road, because you're representing, if not, your husband, then your family and whatever. And it was also a place for you to be able to vent and get a little bit of therapy, even though it was from a hairstylist, but still they had heard a lot normally. And so, it was like a place we still, as much as we are so broken, and especially for women, I find that if anything, our nation kind of is broken and, our ability to kind of create a little village is broken. But it's showing the fact that, internally, it hasn't quite broken all the way. We want it, we need it. And so we go and we congregate in our little beauty salon, and we bond together in these little beauty salons, which, again, something so silly. And I know that it seems like such a silly thing, but it's the reason why when we go places, so I live in the white suburbs. I often, like my school, for example, is full of, white suburbanites and Asian people. But what we do when we go to these schools is, we create alliances, we create little groups to kind of try to replicate that same feeling we got when we were little kids in these little beauty salons. And, I think the problem is we lack direction. We lack motivation and a goal. What are we supposed to be doing with these little groups? But we create them because, underlying there's still a bond that, we share and that, brings us together. Food is another thing that brings us together. they say, you know, these days find the younger women, maybe they don't know how to cook as much as, you know, my generation, which is the Zennial to the Generation X generation. But, you know, cooking is still something that, you know, highly brings us together. The foods, all of our cultures have different foods, you know, Black American culture, you guys have that kind of soul food, I guess is the name of it. But you know, it's different, and you know, it's different than Jamaican food, which is different than all the different islands. Each one of the different countries in Africa have the different foods, and you know, that food and you know, the rituals that kind of bind us together with the food, the music. I mean, I don't know a single solitary Black person who isn't bonded to music, who hasn't said something along the lines of, you know, music saved my life. You know, music is what I reach out to for this, that, or the next thing to keep me calm, to keep me chill. And, you know, it's something that we people want to take our music, they want to take our culture, but you know, it's not something that they can ever really replicate because you know they're underlying it. Ultimately, to me, you know, all these things when you look at it, it kind of has that soul. And you know, to me, the best thing about the Black community, really and truly, is the soul. So many other things are broken or shattered. You know, there's so many things that people will point to, and you know, any other aspect I point out, they'll be like, no, but what about this and what about that? But I think underlying what we can look at is that you know, the Black community still has a soul, and you know, with a soul, I really feel that we could build on the rest of it.
Well, let me ask this. We're talking about what's good in Black society. What what good things, if any, you see coming, you know, up on the horizon? And I guess I'll start with Brother AM1.
And my bad, I
You
was just
there?
trying to come off mute. No, I was trying to stay on mute. Wow. That's an interesting thing, man, because I gotta kind of like Jay Shine. I'm on that warrior mode where I'm like, okay, prepare for the worst, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Sentinel at the gate, last line of defense. You know what I mean? Like I'm always looking to make sure somebody ain't trying to pull a fast one. Not on a fearful level, because I do believe there's abundance of good, but I want to protect the good, and I know the good of our people, and I know what's been done to us. So I'll really come from the mentality of let's peep game and really see. And I say that to say, I think everything's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. So the good that I see are these kind of builds like this. I told O'Shea this because O'Shea is one of the first Black YouTubers that kind of really tapped in and rocked with me as far as even bringing me on and whatnot, and tapping me in with some other folks. I was able to kind of get it in with more like-minded brothers around the world, around the country, than even here in Oakland. Because like I illustrated before, when I first hopped on, there's a lot of people talking, Wakanda forever, all this, black, but ain't really about that life. They're just rolling with that because it's the cool thing to do. Like everybody in a mama's, uncle's, auntie's milkman was talking about voting. But I'm like, y'all ain't talking about voting any other time or talking about community activism or making moves for people any other time. So it's a whole lot of mouthpiecing and just jaws and lip service. Stop it. So I think it's going to get worse before it's going to get better. But I think it's going to be, it thins the herd, the cream rising to the top, those kind of ideas. Like it's going to be get down or lay down. Like the brothers that's really making the moves are going to be in positions of power. And any brother that's like myself, I'm trying to level up, and I have no interest in trying to go buddy up with a bunch of white folks. Sure, I'll do business with them. I'll do business with any other group. But for the most part, I'm really trying to get it in for my people. So it becomes a thing of I'm either linking with like-minded folks, brothers and sisters, or I'm getting it in one way or another. If I can help the next black man, black person, period, level up, I'm gonna try to do that. But for the brothers that want to be on that crabs in a barrel shit and call me a square ass dude or whatever, because how I look, how I carry myself, and make up those excuses because I'm putting a mirror in their face, they're just not going to survive. They're going to be laying down. They're going to be laying down and getting mowed over by these folks that's out to tear everybody down. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to insulate myself from that while making myself a resource to better for my people. So it's an interesting thing. We're gonna see a lot more nigga shit. We're gonna see a lot more ratchet ass shit because we don't control our own media. Our people have to unplug from their media and really level up. But these kind of builds like this is a big, big thing. And actually, you know what? I want to present something to you guys too. I don't want to mess up the rounds, but it's perfect that Information Man is here too. I got this idea I really want to pitch to everybody. It's a perfect forum to do it. So you can hear first on Prophet of Thought, Brother X. But I'll shut that down for now. But if you want to talk about the X, I got this idea. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
X, can I say something real quick? I want to make a correction.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
One correction. I'm hoping for the worst and preparing for the worst. You understand?
Damn.
I'm built for war. I'm trying to fight the war so my grandchildren don't have to fight them. I'm down for the shits. You understand?
Wow.
You know, and that's my mentality. I'm not hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the worst and preparing for the worst. That's where I'm at right now. You know what I mean? And that's what we're gonna have to get on right now because the world is changing. It's changing fast. Brothers have no idea what's coming down this pipe. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
We got to get out this mold of even trying to impress our women. For real, for real. You know what I mean? What's going to impress them is leading them. You know what I'm saying? And being what we need to be. That's what's going to impress them. So stop getting caught up with what is impressive because that then puts us in a position of being bitch led because they're what impresses them is all over the fucking place. You see what I'm saying?
Super facts.
Yeah, exactly. So you know, my situation, my mentality is that I'm preparing for the worst and hoping for the goddamn worst. No. I want a problem. You understand? That's where I'm at with it. So my grandchildren don't have to do nothing but chill, go through life, be good. You feel me?
I hear that. I hear that. The warrior mode. I'm like, I'm asking brothers all the time, where the soldiers at? Now we talking hand-to-hand combat. We talking military strategy, military science. That chess match. The psychological
I'm
warfare.
rambling, I'm in the woods and I'm still in the war. I'm back in the States, still in the war. I'm, you know what I mean? I'm PTSD. I'm that nigga.
Huh. I feel it. I hear
Well,
you.
let me go ahead. Let me ask Brother Info Man. When we talk about what's good inside of Black society, what do you see good on the horizon? What good do you see coming ahead, if any?
I think that we're in a period on a spiritual level. I think we're on a period of awakening. I think we've been asleep for a long time. We've been laying dormant. And I think the universe is changing. The universal energies are changing in our favor. I think that black men are going to get back to their rightful positions. And the reason why I can say that is because simply sitting here, listening to these brothers speak tonight, listening to you, Brother X, the way you are speaking, the ideologies that brothers have, the thoughts, that tells me right now that we are in good hands because we have brothers like this who can pass this information along. We have brothers that are entrepreneurs. So I think that this is the time now to transform ourselves for our future. Some people will speak of gloom and doom, but I think if we got black men on this type of level, this type of thinking, this type of level of shit on we have nothing but to go up. We already been down. Okay. So the opposite of being down is to go up, to rise up, to extend ourselves. So I think that it's that things are on the horizon because there are more black men, as you say, that are in college, in school, doing more positive things that are incarcerated. That's a fact. We know that black fathers are the best fathers on this planet. That's a fact. We know that. So we are on the rise because I'm in good company tonight. And we know that we here in the YouTube, particularly, we are the new black media. We are the media. The crap that's on television is just what it is. It's crap. So we have the ability to shape the minds of our future. We build what we want today by how we think, how we move, and our actions. So I think that there's good things on the horizon because I just keep running around, bumping into positive brothers like yourself on YouTube. And in my everyday life, I have run into many brothers over the years that are doing some great things. AM1's doing some great things out there in Oakland. I got to get out there still. And guess what? AM1, there's probably many brothers, many AM1s all throughout this country that we just haven't heard about yet, but they're out there. So that's where I am on that position, brother.
Brother Nagone, what good do you see coming for Black society, if any?
Well, as I said, as I started off talking about the numbers of, Black people more going to school, getting much higher, going in much higher numbers, graduating high school, many more going into college. So what does that tell me? It says that we have a very young population. We're getting better educated, which if you're definitely getting better educated, people can sit down and talk about the college debt bubble and all these kind of things. Well, we're making some adjustments, but at the same time, that always bodes well for the future. Always does. So as far as education is concerned, and more people getting it, more people going to college now than ever, more people graduating high school than ever in our history, that gives me a lot of hope for the future. How we will focus and better focus for on that is still, there's still some issues there that we have to work through, but it's a very positive thing. It's positive. In the face of a lot of negatives, we have still, even as an Afro-American community, we have some very positive things going on. And the fact that you're getting better educated is huge. What does that mean? How are we going to adjust for the new jobs and for some of the new opportunities that are going to open up? There's going to be myriad, a lot of them that are going to open up that many of us don't even see as of right now. So I'm definitely more positive about the future for a lot of us than not. We certainly going to go through more. There's certainly going to be issues, but as long as we continue that increased educational process in some of our schools, we have some bad schools, we have other schools in other areas that are getting better. Our crime rates are going down. Contrary to popular belief, things I think will increase. When we talk about the Black media and so forth, we have to highlight some of this. We have to talk about a lot of that. We don't hear about that enough. You can even go online and try to take a look around and see what's positive in the Black community. You won't see a lot. They won't try to tell you a lot of things. All right? There's a reason for that. Because they don't want you feeling good about yourself. They don't want you perceive, they don't want you to perceive, to have a perception that you're doing better. They want you to feel worse, so you do worse. So it's on us to encourage us a lot more and talking about a lot more of this encouraging information that's definitely coming about. People believe, I was watching. There was a film that was out some years ago called "What Black Men Think" by Jenks Morton. Most of you haven't heard about it, and there's a reason why you haven't heard about that documentary, because they didn't want the documentary really to be seen by Black people. And Jenks Morton went through there and really broke down how we really looked, and the information was very positive. And then, he started talking about certain perceptions. And then we talked about the perception of men in college as opposed to being in jail. And every Black person that he talked to, except one or two who were aware, but most others that he spoke to, just man on the street kind of thing, there are more Black men in jail. No, I think there are more Black men in jail. No, there are more Black men in jail. Everyone. The reality was 4-to-1 ratio. You were more in college than in jail, but those were our perceptions. It's up to us to tell our story. It's up to us to show what our true shape is. Others are telling a story. They're going to tell lies and half truths. We have to tell the truth about who we are. So, am I positive about the future? Yeah. Why? Because we're getting better educated.
Mm-hmm. Lady Ruby, what good do you see coming over the horizon, if any?
I'm not 100% sure exactly what good I see, but I can definitely tell you why I see it coming. So I think a couple things happened. And the first thing is knowledge is power. And, in this information boom that we've got going on, where, all this information's at our fingertips, all you got to do is think about it, and you can Google an answer like this. No more, ask Jeeves, or maybe it has the answer, maybe it doesn't, or going to the library and hoping you find the right book because you thought of the right title. You can really find the information to just about anything. And so what's happening is we are getting information not just from, our own cities and our newspapers, from across our entire country, across our continents, across the world, about what's happening, to Black folk, what's happening in the communities. And so, as much as so many of us are still in the dark and still ignorant, it's a lot harder to stay as ignorant, and it's a lot harder for the misinformation campaigns that were keeping us in the dark to remain and keep us that way. And so more and more people every day are opening their eyes. The second thing I think that happened was that there was always this kind of hope somewhere along the lines. I think that, like, hey, when we get a Black president, that's going to be the height, right? That's going to be when, there's going to be no more racial tension, no more racism, because it's going to prove to everybody we are equal and we did it, right? And I mean, there was so much hope with Obama running for president the first time. And, people came out in record numbers. Our people came out in record numbers to vote, and people were, falling all over themselves in tears, and that was it. And they thought, just that was it. Everything's going up from here. And then not a lot changed for our people. And then what's worse is Trump was elected, and now things have gone from bad to worse. Things have gone from bad to worse to the point where now the racial tensions are impacting, say, Canadians like myself trying to come into your country, or trying to bring our money into your country. So, it's getting to the place now where even other countries are being impacted to the point where, it's very hard to turn a blind eye. People are starting to wake up and realizing that, the Great Black Hope, that's all it was. It was hope. It didn't change anything. If anything, things have gotten worse. If anything, now things are more publicly horrific, and it's like things are going backwards. And nobody moves when they're comfortable. And that's the thing. We've been comfortable in our discomfort for so long, but, nothing has really gone so far backwards like it has been lately. And so I think what's happening is, people are going to be galvanized to move. Whether it's, our women being used as tools by the feminist movement, or, what's happening in general to our men, being impacted not just by that movement, by so many other things. People are no longer comfortable. So they're starting to get up, they're starting to wake up, because, they're being shaken, and, trying to go along to get along isn't working anymore. The old narratives of, oh, well, if we just integrate peacefully, everything will be fine. Or, hey, maybe if you just make it and you're just rich enough, if you just behave enough, if you're just blah, blah, blah enough, well, then it'll all be fine. Hey, those misinformation campaigns are being literally shattered, and they can't hide it from us anymore, because we have our own media. We have social media. So you know what? That stuff's going viral. Everyone's finding out about these things. It's no longer being swept under the rug and being hidden. The proverbial nigga moment, it's no longer a secret. And more and more people are going to have to wake up and open their eyes. For me, being a woman, I'll tell you, and a lot of men really don't understand this perspective here, but, when I was going through life as a child and as a teenager, I didn't know anything about natural hair, except every single product that they had was perm, and a bunch of shit that was exactly the same, and all of it broke my hair off. Didn't really work for me, so perm my hair, wear some weave, do some extensions. There wasn't really options. If it wasn't for things like YouTube, I never would have known about this natural hair movement. I never would have known that there were like a slew of products that I could actually use in my natural hair, and that my natural hair could be something. I didn't know anything about any of this. So, you know, if it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have gone natural, which I know to some people sounds ridiculous, but it was a huge thing. I could walk around with my natural hair. I've never gone back to weave. You know, we're going on almost 3 years now, and it was like a burden off of my shoulders. But with that being said, there are challenges to that. And I know I'm not alone in those challenges anymore because of social media. So it's allowing me to stand up and say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not fighting this fight alone. And even if no one's going to stand up and fight with me necessarily, like standing next to me and fight my battle, I know that, hey, this is wrong. A million people agree with me, so I'm going to fight it. Hey, let's all maybe do this. And more people are taking on It's Okay That I'm Black campaigns of their own in their own lives. And, you know, being willing to fight those fights, being willing to stand up and take those shots and, you know, go in those battles. And I mean, you know, when I mentioned a hair thing for men who are listening, they're probably like, oh, that's silly and that's frivolous. But, you know, I'm a woman. And so identity and beauty is a huge thing for us. And it's a big way that they are using us against not only ourselves, but against our men, against our community, against our children even. So, you know what I mean? Not being able to use that white standard of beauty because we don't have anything else. And, you know, not having us, you know, burning chemicals into our brains every 6 weeks, and not having us literally being willing to sacrifice rent money and food money and whatever to buy some weave so that we can look decent or whatever. I mean, those are huge things. I mean, the neglect to our children. I know Brother X, I can't remember which stream it was that we did where, you know, you were just reading some of the stats of, you know, abuse and other things are missing children every single year. You know, our children are being neglected, and unfortunately, in this day and age, who are the majority of the people raising our children by themselves? Women. So things that are waking our women up and empowering our women in a positive way, not in some, again, bullshit feminist way, are positive things. So again, nobody's going to move though until they're uncomfortable. So I actually, not only do I know things are going to get worse because, you know, all the racist ticks and the Trump supporters are super excited for this period of time in life, but I know things are going to get worse because they need to. And as they get worse and as we get uncomfortable, not only are we going to be willing to stand up and fight and stand up and move and be galvanized to do so, but we're going to be willing to start doing it a lot more intelligently. You know, Nagan just said, you know, we're getting educated. You know, education seems less and less of a foreign concept to us these days, and we're going to be willing to start using that education in the right ways to help not just ourselves, but our communities and our missions to be able to kind of bring things right side up. But again, it's got to fall. I mean, we're still a long way away from being there. So, you know, I'm not sure what good is going to come. I think it's going to come in these little bits and pieces, and it's going to come, you know, with small segments of our community and slowly grow and slowly build. And, you know, that building towards good is going to be, you know, directly proportional with how bad it gets everywhere else.
Well, let me ask everybody this, because we coming around to the last few minutes of the show. Let me ask you, and I guess I'll ask a question that they often ask in politics, being that Lady Ruby touched on politics a little bit. For the people on this panel right here, for the people on this panel, is there more good in your life now than it was, say, 4 years ago? We talked about the good now, and we talked about the good to come in the future. Is there more good in your life now than it was, say, like I said, 4 years ago, 5 years ago? Is there more good in your life now? I guess I can. I guess I'll start with Nagone.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a lot of good going on right now. There's some changes. There's some things that have changed. For some, there have been some deaths in the family, and and some friends, in fact, and so forth. So some of that has been negative, but there are other things that have been very positive. Some good business things have started to shape up. Met some new people as well. Always consistently kind of building on my network, moving forward. So that's been good, from a business and kind of personal connections type of relationship. There's some very good things going on, even physically, hitting the bench press, man. I'm trying to go for 550 on the bench. I'm here. I'm a man in my 50s and banging out, over a quarter of a ton. Shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? How was that? But so I'm
Yeah,
blowing
man.
my.
I seen your
You know what I'm saying?
videos, man. I seen a couple of your videos, man. I
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah, I'm stronger than that now. So I mean, it's and here I am, considerably an old man, but yet here I am getting stronger, blowing my own mind. It's kind of insane, but yet this is what the good Lord provides for you. If you stay healthy and the older you get, the stronger you get. That's a secret modification He made in you that you don't actualize until you really push it at an older age. Very strange thing, but yeah. So in so many respects, yeah, I'm, certain things have gotten better, and at times some things have gotten worse just because some people are no longer with me, no longer with us, if you will. So it's complex. I think we're still moving forward, pushing ahead. I feel, very positive for the future. My grandson, he's a starting quarterback on his on his little Pop Warner team. He's a little kid. Little bodies, big helmets, and he's throwing he's throwing a football around. So this is just a lot of things that I'm feeling good about. I pray that they continue to go in that direction, and if they don't, well, it's been a good run, old boy. And if I go out, I can't go out crying. But at the end of the day, things are improving. Things are getting a little, getting better. I think, and that's kind of how I tend to have a very positive outlook on things to a large extent. Even though there's negative around you, I tend to look at things a little bit more positively. So I have to say, I think things are going well because Lord knows they could be a lot worse.
Brother Jay Shine, things going more good in your life now than 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah, man, I ain't got no bitch problems, man. I'm chilling.
Something told me Brother Jay Shine was going to answer that way.
Got the hose on pause.
Oh my God.
Something told me he would answer just like
ignorant, man. I was ignorant. So anyway, I mean, keep it to the plan, man. Staying on my roll, man, and
Keeping that shit a buck.
Hey, man, it's facts though. Man.
Oh,
I don't have no bitch problems, man.
That's
Yeah, but so anyway, I'm just staying on my grind, man. Just sticking to my plan. I live off a spreadsheet. I run my life like a corporation. Every dollar I spend is accounted for. Everything I'm going to spend the next month is planned out. You know what I mean? And I just stick to the plan. I got a life plan that I have to live out, and I'm going to execute it no matter what. And like I told you before in your program, I'm like Denzel Washington. I'm a winner. I'm going to win, and I want other brothers to be just like me. It's not an arrogance thing. It's just what it is thing. We're gonna have to start getting on a page that we are winners. We said something here earlier, like back in a long time ago. Information Man said something really poignant. I want to jump on. Um, back in back in old Europe, You see these suburbs, you see this Africana life, excuse not Africana life, this American life, this Americana that they built, where they have the little suburbs, and they jumping rope, and they got the little 3-wheel, bicycles, and they got the his and hers bikes, and they dreamt that. You understand? This is something that they wanted. It was a vision. Now, of course, it came at the expense of a lot of indigenous people and some black people they stole, but the bottom line is they still had an agenda. You know what I mean? And that's when I want to know, what is our agenda going for? What do we see for our great grandchildren? You understand? What's our pyramid going to look like, and when we're going to start building it? And when we start getting the pyramid building mode, man, we're going to be unstoppable out in these motherfucking streets. Because I'm telling you right now, there's black men out here who I know who are different walks of life, and we see in each other the promise. It is nothing professional about me. You know what I'm saying? As far as how I talk most of the time. But I'm literally one of the best at what I do in the entire country. You see what I'm saying? Excellence has to respect excellence. And what I've seen out here in these YouTube streets is the same thing I've seen in real life. There's nothing different. Is that even in the face, in the presence of other black men who are doing things, we don't have that that training of respect. That, like, you know what? My man over here is doing something, so I'm never going to respect him. But if we get into some high school shit and we don't like somebody, then we're going to just completely dismiss everything they got going on and act like we did not know a fucking ain't shit. And that stuff's got to stop. It's got to stop, because it goes back to what the brothers were saying earlier about black men being able to follow other black men. Other groups of people out here. When you look at white folk, they got the Boy Scouts, they got Catholic Church. They separate the boys and the girls and most cultures, and they raise the boys separately because they try to build camaraderie and brotherhood amongst those men. Even if they don't like each other, they grow into men who do business with each other automatically. Period. You see the immigrants coming to this country. They are on. This is every other group does this, but we let this situation happened to us in this country for the last 400 years. Next August 2019, is 400 years here. 400 years on the dot. You understand? So at what point is it going to take? It's going to take another years, another 200 years. At what point? Why not now? And that's what I was saying in AM1 earlier, man, about, I was being facetious, but I'm being serious about preparing for the worst. You know what I mean? And all that, and hoping for the worst, because I'm in a war. I'm on a warlike stance right now. I'm looking personally as one black man. I'm looking towards my great grandchildren's future. I want my wall. I want my face on that wall in my house. I want an estate with my face on it, being a founding father of my family. You understand? That's what I want. I want to build something, legacy. You know what I mean? No matter how small. Legacy. No one says legacy has to be large. All right. That's not what legacy means. Legacy is legacy, no matter how small. So if the legacy is just your family, get it popping, get it going, man. Get started. You know what I mean? And then push through, and don't stop, and don't never fucking deviate, especially for no whore. You understand? And that's the thing keeps getting a lot of brothers caught up. These whores are getting niggas caught up. I mean, like, brothers, man, like, yeah, and sisters feel me too, because
that's a fact.
This is out there who are dealing with brothers who are already single parents. There's women out there dealing with brothers who got baby mamas already, but that brother's a hardworking brother and he's trying to get this shit together. And they're seeing the hamstring of the other female. You know what I mean? They seeing what the other bitch is doing. You know what I'm saying? They see it. All right. So we gotta have to get disciplined. We're gonna have to keep talking. We're gonna have to keep going. We're gonna have to keep, preaching out here in these YouTube streets until nauseam. I don't give a fuck if we got 80% black men out here rocking. I'm still going to be out here talking like it's 100% fucked up in the game. So I'm still trying to say the other 20%. This is war. You understand? And that's how we got to look at it. We got to get into a warlike mentality. When other groups come over here and they set up shop in New York, right in the Gone, in your fucking neighborhood, that's an act of war.
Goddamn right, brother.
And they do it willingly. They do it every goddamn day without a goddamn bat in the eye. But we got to sit here and act like we're afraid and ask permission. Look, this country was built on our backs. I'm not asking nobody for permission. I go where the fuck I want to go in America. I build what I want here. This is yours. Your ancestors bled for, they died for, they were humiliated, they cried, they suffered. What the fuck you mean you don't know what to do? You can't do nothing here. You have no choice. All right, you don't talk no other language. This is here. You're here. Build here. Now I'm going on the KKK shit, but I will be back. I still got property here. I got family here. I'm not gonna be gone forever. I'm coming back. I'm gonna do some traveling, save some money, stack my chips, and I'll be back. So my time with building with black men is not over. You know what I mean? And I want black men to, just get it together. Because when I'm gone, the gone's gone, and X is not on here, somebody's gonna come in here and take their place on these YouTube waves. You know what I'm saying? And then we got to keep it going. And that's okay. That's okay. That's the next Mason up, and that's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So keep going forward. Keep doing your thing. Keep being excellent. I mean, be the best at what you do. Put yourself on a schedule. Put yourself on a spreadsheet. Keep pushing through this bullshit, man. And fuck these hoes. You understand?
Man, you ain't that number the word.
Exactly. Brother Info Man, more good in your life now than it was 4 or 5 years ago, or no?
For me, definitely. I've had some ups and downs over the years that were prior that I had to get through. It was mostly personal things in my life. And I had to transition to getting back to the person that I was before, which is the internal happiness. If you're not happy with yourself, you can't transform anything around you or anything going forward. So I had to work with myself, love myself first before I can transform myself to anything else or to be loved by someone else. So for me, as of right now, things have gotten better for me. I feel better. I've gotten into exercise more. My mindset, the way I think about things are a lot different. I think I've gained some wisdom, if you want to say, through my experiences. It's only made me stronger. The things I've gone through prior have only made me stronger to see my way forward. So I think I'm doing well. I mean, work's going well. There are some things in society that I'm not happy about, but for the most part, every time you think things are worse for you, there's somebody out there that's even worse off than you think you are. So you got to be thankful for what you have and live your life each day, because we don't know if we're going to wake up tomorrow. So I would say yes.
Okay. Brother AM1.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, for me, that's a hell of a question. My life has leveled up in so many ways in the past 5 years. Just my understanding of a lot of things about life. I mean, I've always been a deep thinker about things and researcher heavily. As much as I've been in the mix with a lot of different music, culture type stuff in the past 5 years, really understanding the importance of monetizing that. Like I said before, we just drip the culture shit that just flows out of us, the charisma, that type of energy so easily, but really understanding from a historical standpoint why we are where we're at on an economic level, and shifting gears, and again, trying to make myself be that resource and having fun with it, being able to monetize the creativity and sustain myself with that. And I'm like, hey, how can I show some other folks how to do this? I mean, it's been beautiful. And again, building with brothers and the sister like our lovely Ruby here is just gems, man. It's real beautiful. It's therapeutic, like my brother Black Ram. I guess I shouldn't say another YouTuber's name like O'Shea. But it's therapeutic, man. Like, this stuff is big. It's a big deal. And as Brother Nagone said, you never know who's listening. Like, that's a big deal. I appreciate all you guys. Like, yeah, my situation has leveled up in a big way. Super happy about that. Abundance is coming. I feel like it's only right to try to spread that wealth, or at least that mental wealth, that energy. You know what I'm
saying? Lady Ruby, guess we'll close out with you.
Well, I hate to be the one to break the streak, but for me, I gotta say 2018 has been one hell of a year for me in all of the wrong ways, all of the absolute wrongest ways possible. But and it's funny because it might be maybe I won't say a generation thing. I was thinking maybe it was an age thing, because a lot of people that are right around my age are kind of saying the same thing, where 2018 has just been hell on wheels. And I mean, it might be something like, Year of the Rat, for example, the year of, I think it was like the pig, and year of whatever in the Chinese astrology and whatever, that might have something to do with it. I don't know. all I know is that to me, what I see is that 2018 is a year of like destruction, and for about half of the year or so, I just saw it as such a negative thing. And, I was really getting down, seeing everything that was happening to my brothers and sisters over there in the States and just to the States as a whole, you know what I mean, and around the world. And then I realized something, that, what we try to do sometimes, let's say we have a house that is just unstable, and it shakes and it breaks. And then what do? We just try to patch up the walls, try to patch up the cracks, try to, kind of makeshift, hold it back up and glue and tape it back together. And, we keep doing that over and over again. And then we're super surprised when the whole thing comes tumbling down, because we forgot about the foundation. And everything is worth nothing unless it has a strong foundation. And, so sometimes what needs to happen is the whole goddamn thing just needs to come crashing down. It needs to be demolished literally from underground up, and the foundation needs to be rebuilt, and it needs to be reinforced and strong this time around. And then, a new house needs to be built on top of it, and that needs to be reinforced, in every way possible. And then you're going to accessorize the outside. Then you're going to glamorize the inside. We spend too much time, gluing and taping things together and then trying to make it look pretty, without thinking about the foundation. All that pretty stuff on the outside, all the accessories are worth nothing without the foundation. So, I just taking 2018 as this is what it is. It's breaking down anything that is messing with your ability to see that all you're doing is gluing and taping stuff together. That's going to come crashing down. If you've already gotten rid of those things in your life, then, it's probably not affecting you as hard as it is some of the rest of us. But, for the rest of us, this is a year of destruction. But that, to me, is actually, now I'm starting to see it as such an amazing thing, because, when there's just a bunch of rubble around you, all you've got left to do is rebuild. And, it's literally like it was free construction. It all came tumbling down. You don't even have to go put the time, the energy, the work, the effort into tearing it all down. It's already gone. Now all you've got to do is start with your blank canvas and rebuild. And, use all those lessons, use all that information, use everything, all the resources around you, to build that foundation that can't be shaken again. You know what I mean? Build that house on top of it, that no matter what comes, it's gonna hold. So, I'm really looking forward to the end of 2018. Don't get me wrong, but when I look at where I was and who I was 5 years ago, and all the lessons that I've learned, actually, really in the past 10 years or so. I'm really looking forward to 2019 and the next 5 years, because I know that what builds from here is going to be literally impenetrable. It's going to be unshakable. It's going to be unbreakable. And I know that my brothers and sisters who are in the same position as me are going to be in that same position next year. So it's a really exciting time for us. So I'll leave it there.
Well, I'm going to say this. I look at where I am now, and I look back 4 or 5 years ago. I'm way, way better off than I was 4 or 5 years ago. And I have a lot more good in my life than I did 5 years ago. More positive things have come my way. I've been able to do many, many good things, more good things than I could do 4 or 5 years ago. Things are in the fact that I'm able to do more things, makes it easier for others to do more things. Like my wife can do more things because I can do more things. So I have way more good in my life now than I did 4 or 5 years ago by a long shot. Now things haven't been perfect. Okay, if I told you things would be perfect, I'd be telling a damn lie. Things haven't been perfect, but things are better. and I see better things to come. I'm optimistic about what's over the horizon, and I know that things are going to grow for myself, and my woman. Our businesses are growing, and I hope to see more of that. They're on a trajectory to do more of that. So yeah, I'd have to say that I'm there's more good in my life than it was a few years ago. And hopefully a few years from now, there'll be more good in my life than it is right now. But I'll close with saying this. When we talk about Black society, and I know a lot of people tune in, on Thursday night on looking at DXL on the TPOT YouTube page. They usually hear us going in on hoes and baby mamas and Negroes that ain't worth a nickel, and the situations in our society and how we deal with each other. I'm sorry that I disappointed you tonight. I'm sorry that I got up here and talked about the good things in Black society. I'm sorry that the brothers came up here and talked about the positive things in the Black world. I am sorry to disappoint you, not because I feel like we should be talking about these things more. Now, don't get me wrong. Next week, we'll probably be going in. Okay. This time next week, probably be a total different show. But
I hope so.
but but I felt the need. I felt the need to, for once, okay, and maybe brothers will follow suit. Maybe once a week.
The X drop out.
Yeah, I think he dropped.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. He knocked himself out the box.
Yeah,
He must have lost power or something, man.
Oh,
But I hope he keeping his word.
Oh, he's back.
They
You back,
can't
X?
X, man, what you doing over there, brother? You popping in and out of your own show? What's up with that, man?
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now, brother.
Can y'all hear me? I don't know what the
white
I
man.
don't know what the hell was going to. I don't know what the hell just happened. I was about to bring it home too. What I wanted to say was this. I would hope that, once in a while, brothers, no matter what your platform is about, just once, like I said, once every month, once every 6 months, once a goddamn year, at least have one stream where you actually highlight some of the good shit that's going on in Black society. I was gonna have my man Q Butter on here tonight. I don't know what the hell happened to him, because I was gonna have him,
He's
talk
on a
about his
live stream.
school.
I saw him on a live stream with
Yeah.
With
I know.
Black people dudes.
Yeah, I wanted to one night have people talk about some of the good shit. Okay, some of the good shit that's going on, because we know it's a lot of bullshit going on in Black society. I mean, we don't have to look far for that. A lot of us, we don't even got to look past our own damn house, past our own street, past our own family, and we damn sure can find a lot of the dysfunction here on YouTube. So
I mean there's a lot of small wins out there. We got young sisters pressing forward into tennis and swimming and competing in area sports that they didn't compete in before. We got brothers, some real brotherhood shit. Other young brothers up, and you got pro athletes flying across the country to see, junior high school and high school prodigies getting behind young brothers. That's beautiful.
Yes.
I mean,
so I would hope that brothers would follow suit, and follow our, example, myself and the people on this distinguished panel, and talk about some positive shit every once in a while. I'm not telling you to do it all the time. I know your black asses ain't gonna do it anyway. But if you would just do it once in a while, that's all. Because see, if we show some of the positive shit that we do, if we show some of the good shit that we do every once in a while, we may not can all out change people's lives, but I think we can change people's minds. And I think in these days and times, with all we got going on in Black society, changing people's minds is the first step to what's good. But I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you for watching. I need y'all to get on down there to the Prophet of Thought series on Facebook. That's Prophet of Thought, one word, series, next word on Facebook. Get on up there. It's a community page. Like the page, follow the page, share the page. You can even hit me up with a message. I'll hit you back within a day, guaranteed. Also, make sure you get on over there to the TPOT bandwagon page on Facebook as well. That's a personal page. You can actually send that page a friend's request. I'll make sure it gets confirmed quick. And while you're doing that, get on down there to the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. That's right, the Prophet of Thought Series fan group page on Facebook. Go ahead, request to be a member. You'll get accepted quick, I promise. And I actually had my admin update the photo because some people was writing me. They was like, "Yo, X, what's up with that damn photo you got up there?" Because they had like the default photo where it's like a bunch of like Mexican farmers and shit on there. So I had my admin change that shit. So now when you go there, you'll recognize it. You'll see the old TPOT logo. So get on up there and request to be a member. Like I said, you'll get accepted quick. There's a lot of shit going on there. There's like 2,800 people in the group. So like I say every week, you ain't just got to listen to me flap my lips. There's other people down there flapping their lips as well. Also, check us out on WhatsApp and Instagram. That's right, Prophet of Thought on Instagram. Go ahead and follow us on Instagram.
One day and just make a bunch of my own flat little.
You're guaranteed to get a follow back if you follow us on Instagram. Also, here we go again. We're gonna talk about this now. Get your black behinds down there on Twitter. The handle is at TPOT Media on Twitter. It's at TPOT Media on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, or I'll haunt your dreams till 2025. This is what I don't understand about you folks with this Twitter thing. I don't know how many damn followers on the TPOT page, about 1,000. I got I don't know how many. I think I'm creeping up on like 1,400 goddamn subscribers on this thing. I got another damn I don't know how many 100 on the 2,800 on the fan group page. How the hell I only got like 40 followers on Twitter? That doesn't make any sense to me. So get your black behinds down there on Twitter and follow us, because I know you watch my stuff. So you might as well take 5 minutes and go ahead and follow us on Twitter as well. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. I'd like to thank you for watching, spending some time with us. Also, I'd like to thank the people in my chat, my moderators, for doing what they're supposed to do. And I want to thank my most distinguished panel, Brother AM1, Lady Ruby, Brother Info Man, Brother Jay Shine, and my boy Nagone. Thank you for coming through, making this a fire stream as always. And hopefully,
thank you, brother,
y'all have your black behinds here 9:30 p.m. Eastern time next Thursday, because we get back to the old DXL that you remember. So with that, I will leave you with 3 words. Like I always do, open your minds, and we are out of here, y'all.
Peace.
All right. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
peace, brother.
Peace.
Peace, folks. Only from team. Open your